I don't think it works. I feel like what he's got going on at Aston Villa, he runs the club, he decides every decision. To go to Real Madrid and what? You could be there for 6 months and get the sack.
Is this because you want this to happen? You don't want this move to happen?
I don't see it.
That's why I'm swiping left, because I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
I love him.
I don't see it
we can't do what you want. We think what you think is going to happen.
I don't think it will happen. I think he's got something good going on at Aston Villa. He's got a great chance of winning Europa League, Champions League football, hopefully. Why would you want to go to Madrid? Last time Ali was there, it was raining, wasn't it, Ali?
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Hello, you're listening to Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. Nesquik for the H&J generation. What's coming up between now and 4, Charlie?
Hi, Max. Every time I see you, my heart skips a beat.
Oh, thanks.
We'll kick off today with L'Equipe's Eric Bielderman after that glorious game in Paris last night. Former Saints and Liverpool striker Ricky Lambert will tell us about the Masters football tournament, and former ref Graham Scott will listen to Max banging on about handball. Will he say anything?
Honestly,
will he say anything, or will you just be speaking of that bit?
I now just get referees to listen and say, won't somebody do something, please? It's ruining football. Adrian Durham's in Madrid. We'll ask him if he's having a nice time
Best
after
in the
storms
business.
are a brewing. Rafa Honigstein can do some PSG Bayern from the German side of things, and Terry Gibson can do some Atleti and some Jose to Real Madrid, ?
JJ Bull will talk about his unofficial Scotland World Cup song, which I don't know if you've heard it, Max. It is an absolute stone cold banger.
Is it a banger?
It is brilliant.
Okay.
We'll tell
I look
him
forward
that.
to it.
Adrian Clark will do the championship promotion race, and it's the third ever Wheel of Football. That's exciting, isn't it?
It is exciting, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Charlie.
Good afternoon, Max. And it's a genuine good afternoon because this is the first time we've spoken today. Because
Yeah, well,
pre-show meeting just didn't happen. Because
It didn't
Mrs.
happen.
Baker was locked in. So
She
I
was
had to,
locked in. Is that what you do, Charlie? It doesn't sound...
Well, that's just how I like to live my life.
Is that right? You won't see anyone else.
I don't like her
strike me
leaving
as
the
that.
house. You know what these
Mrs.
women are
Baker.
like, Max, if they go out of the house? Spending my wages on
really?
dresses and perfume.
This sounds like every other talkSPORT show, Charlie. I don't know what's happened. Her indoors should stay indoors.
No, we've got
but she
electric
freed
gates.
herself.
We've got electric gates, and
someone's
the
doing
electrics
all right,
have
yeah,
gone.
That's why you didn't want to talk about it. Electric gates,
Yeah,
Baker. Who had you as
Virgin
electric
Radio,
gates
2 till
man?
6, Saturday and Sunday. Can I say it's
Wow.
electric gates? And
I always thought you were a man of the people.
no.
You leave Newton Abbott and suddenly you've got electric gates.
Imagine Newton Abbott electric gates that you'd get burnt at the stake.
Thing is, though, you can't have electric gates if you don't have like a big old pile.
That's not true. That isn't true.
You can't have tiny electric
That isn't
gates on a tiny little house. Keep you living in a
wouldn't
palace.
it? It'd be good, wouldn't it? A tiny little
Really
house,
would,
but
yeah.
really massive gates.
Bigger than they're wider
Enormous
than the block.
gates.
They're wider than the block. The neighbours can't get out either because you've got some massive gates there.
Yeah, it would be a shower, not a grower of gates.
Yeah. And then you've just got a little bungalow.
Yeah, tiny
But the
little
gates
bungalow
are-
behind the gates.
are like the Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz of gates.
You pull up outside
That's
and you go,
really
"That's
good.
my house." That is. And people go, "Oh, goodness me, he's doing well."
all right. Charlie's doing
and
all right.
behind the gates, just
got a bed
a
sit.
tent.
How are you then? You well? It's nice to see
Very
you.
well. I've been to France and Belgium, Max, and done in the last 48 hours with
What,
my
a
brother.
booze cruise?
Well, my
What were you
brother
doing?
cycling. We cycled
To France?
No, well, from we went on the ferry from
Yeah.
Dover. We cycled
Yeah.
to Ypres in Belgium,
Oh, right.
and I knew it was a long way, but by bike, that is a long way.
Did you do that? What were you doing this for? Just for fun?
For fun.
What, you cycled to Belgium with who?
My
Okay.
brother Robert, and
Danny?
yeah, my brother Danny. Yeah.
There you go.
And it was a lot longer than I thought. I've not been on a bike in a while.
Oh, dear.
And I could tell you the sorest bit on my body, but
I think I know.
might get sent home. But yeah,
Which-
great fun.
Really?
Great fun.
Do Vaseline?
Got told
Do
off.
Vaseline down there?
Told off quite a lot by French and Belgian people.
For what?
Just going the wrong way, round roundabouts, and
Oh, really?
generally being a silly business
Right.
in Belgium and France. But
Tell me you weren't cycling through France going, oh,
not a hoy,
I can see you
hoy,
doing
haw.
that.
Not a hoy.
Yeah.
I was saying bonjour to a lot of people.
Okay, to everyone.
To as many people as
Okay,
possible.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
but it was shut. Everywhere's shut.
France?
France.
France was shut.
All the shops are shut. All the bars are shut. Nowhere's open ever, anywhere. I had visions of cycle 10 miles, have a petit bière, cycle another 10 miles, have a petit bière. None of it was open. So it was just general cycling all the way
The
through.
whole of France is shut. I'm
Yes.
sure we shouldn't be. Feels like misinformation.
No, well,
doesn't
yeah,
it?
it does feel a bit, but no, but there we are. But
No,
that's where I've been. That's what
Interesting.
I've been doing. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Max.
I'm glad you had a nice time. I wasn't listening to the previous show.
Oh, no.
But Tom sent a text to the previous show saying this. Nottingham Forest have had a homegrown academy player in every matchday squad for over 4,000 consecutive matches dating back to the 1940s.
Wow.
That player must be incredibly old, mustn't they? Is that Morgan Gibbs-White? I just don't
Same
think
guy.
he's been there since the 40s.
Not since the 40s.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Is that
Although
Ryan Yates? Is Ryan Yates?
I think Morgan
Is
Gibbs
Ryan
White
Yates?
has a timeless
Ryan
look
Yates
about
is
him.
86.
Maybe he is.
Anyway, I've got something for that. We will talk about that football match last night.
What a football match! I've got to say,
just so much
we were
fun.
driving back from Dover,
Yeah.
and I had it on talkSPORT 2, And Joe Shannon and Stuart Pearce were absolutely sensational in that game.
Yeah, they're two of the best.
They were absolutely brilliant. It was brilliant. It was talkSPORT at its best. Brilliant comms. And I was flicking over to Ian Danter as well on the Ipswich Southampton game because that was exciting as well. This bit of football now, the playoff bit, is how it should all be at all times. How do you make it like that at all times?
Well, every game is.
Why do we have to have like November
the rest of the
8th?
season? Yeah, no, it's a good point.
February the 10th. No one cares about any of those games. It gets to now and you go, this is amazing.
And when you say it was talkSPORT at its best, Mark the Wolves fan says 5 minutes of gate banter. Wednesday's off to a flyer. This is talkSPORT at its best. I've got a text topic. I'm not quite sure of the question, but I don't know if you've seen this. It's an amazing bit of footage, which I'm pretty certain that he's right. This guy Tom Feeney tweeted it.
Oh, I have seen this. Yeah.
The problem with all the Rochdale York videos is just when you think you've seen every angle, you spot a Rochdale fan emptying their dead loved one's ashes in the centre spot while celebrating their winner in inverted commas. And obviously then, after the pitch invasion, York score. So there is, the video is not totally on the centre circle. When you look at the centre circle, there is a guy with a plastic bag. It does look very much like he's like pouring ashes onto the centre circle, right in the centre circle, and then embracing someone and then thinking, we've done it. Nan, this is the moment Nan would have wanted.
Yeah.
There she is. You walk off the pitch and then York score and you're like, oh no, I don't know. So there must be a text topping
them now, or
you can't get a dustbuster, hoover them up.
I saw a man coming out of the sea once in Cornwall, and he'd obviously just spread somebody's ashes.
Yeah,
and it looked like I sort of let the moment hold. Then as he was in fully clothed, right? As he came out, this moment that was obviously close to him. His wife went, "What have you gone in for?" Just didn't say, "And are you okay?" Was that? What you going to sea for?
So he went fully. How far was he submerged?
Did go in, I think he was caught out a bit by the tide.
Right. I see.
And how wet the sea was.
The sea is wet, famously.
It's really wet. But he went in fully clothed. But she all she did. What have you got him for? We've got him fully clothed for, which I was thinking, but I thought that was the plan. But I don't think it was the plan.
Yeah,
but
and
spreading
also
ashes.
Let him have that moment. Spreading ashes, your stories, please. So there can either be really moving ones about, a sporting place that you spread the ashes of someone you loved, or just when it didn't quite go as you expected.
I've only ever done it once, and that was for my dog Bruce, right? And I took him to his favourite place that he used to like.
Which was McDonald's in Newton.
He used to like walking, and I
did he?
And I
he
spread.
Like
he loved to walk.
Do you know dogs? Have you
ever seen a dog?
There's something strange about my dog.
Right, and of course I opened the urn. I suppose it wasn't really an urn. It was like a box, and I sort of threw them and went, and then they just all came back onto me.
Oh yes,
so they just ended up on me.
Yeah.
So
and you never washed since.
Never washed.
Jay in Bustleton says, where I grew up in Cornwall, a man moved to the village, built a 10-foot brick wall around the property with large cast iron gates on each post, stone horse statues. Everyone wondered what his house looked like. Ended up he just lived in a caravan behind the walls. There he is.
Very nice.
He's done the gag we were talking about.
Very good.
Keep those coming.
These very Cornish.
Keep those coming, please. 81089 at Max Rushden at Baker Street. But yeah, your stories of spreading ashes, please. We'll take those, and we will begin the show in earnest by talking to Eric Biederman, journalist for L'Equipe, off the back of PSG 5, Bayern 4. What a brilliant game of football that was. This is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Check out their wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Toolstation.
Xavi Simons, it's not Molyneux. You can't blame Spurs' pitch for that. But I have to say, mate, we've got to have a look at this medical team at Spurs. I think they changed it last year.
But it's a medical team. So there's two parts to it. You and I both know, right? Strength and conditioning and training. There has to be joined up thing. The medical team only deal with injured players. It's not their fault they're injured. The medical team try and get them back. Where the medical team need to be looked at is the length in time that these players are out for. Some of these players, what's happened to Kulusevski? Is he still even with us? I mean, he has just completely disappeared. I know Maddison's been on the bench recently.
Yeah, but he's not fit. He can't play.
But you need these players back. That's where the medical team come into it. But in terms of picking up injuries, you can't blame the medical team for picking up injuries. That comes down to training.
Isn't there injury prevention? I don't know. I mean, like hamstrings and things like that. You can. You can look at
soft tissue,
tissues and things like. I mean, ACL. I mean, what? You can't blame the medical team for that. What I can blame the medical team for is the fact that they put ice spray on his knee when he's off. And everyone in the ground could see that he was in a bad way, Xavi Simons. He was in a bad way. And they got him up. I think they made him do a couple of jumps to see if he was all right. They put ice spray on his knee. He's ruptured his ACL. I mean, how many times have we had this argument, Chase, me and you, about to get him on a stretcher, players on a stretcher? You see him walk off. Next day you say, yeah, he's done his meniscus or he's done his ACL or he's out for 6 months. And then walking off a football pitch. The amount of times we say this.
I don't get it.
If they are injured, if they've got a knee injury and they are coming off, put them on a stretcher and get him off. In the end, he does go on a stretcher. After, they've put ice spray on his knee and made him jump up and down. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
Well, you've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
First Snickers.
Big deep breath. Here goes Kane, right-footed, and he scores! Kvaratskhelia raiding down the inside left. He's into the penalty area now, shimmying feet, and a low shot is brilliant! Oh, what a magnificent goal! Dembele with the corner, headed in! Elise right through the middle here has rammed it into the net! It's 2-2! Oh, this is the chaos football in the Champions League that we were hoping for. Straight run up from the edge of the penalty area, hits it right-footed, and he beats Manuel Neuer! Hakimi across goal, two players leave it, but Kvaratskhelia is there to lash it home! Ousmane Dembele, chance to make it 5! He has! Finish floats in the free kick, downward header in! Dio for Mykhailo! Harry Kane with an early ball over the top. What a pass to Luis Diaz. Brings it down onto the right foot! It's 5-4!
Wow, well that's just utterly ridiculous. What a game of football.
Yeah, brilliant game of football. Brilliantly described there by Joe Shannon. So let's look back at the Champions League action with Snickers. And in the company of Eric Bielderman, a journalist for L'Equipe. Hey, Eric, how are you? Hello,
Hi,
Eric.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Eric.
Yes,
Do you
you're
hear me?
there on us. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. There might be a slight delay, but Eric, I mean, it's quite hard, I think, to analyse a game that just has that many moments and that many goals. But it was just so much fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun, but it was something more. It was to me about total football. I am a much elder than you do. I was back to Ajax of Amsterdam with Rinus Michels in the 70s, with Holland, with Johan Cruyff in the 70s. But usually when total football is played, there is one team playing total football and one team playing defensive football, trying to counter attack or to be very consistent in defensive line. These two teams have had the same philosophy. Two total football teams, which is very unusual to see two positive tactician, happy teams enjoying playing football like that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to pick out who was, I thought Kvaratskhelia was such a joy. Luis Diaz was unbelievable. We just heard the commentary. That may be the pick of all the great touches of the night. That control from the Harry Kane pass from Diaz was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah. Every single offensive player did tremendous. But Harry Kane is not the one you can really focus on as the most limelight kind of player. But he is such a clever player, and the magical pass that he did on TV when I was watching it, I was miles away from Paris. I couldn't really saw it. And on replay, I just say, this is maybe the magical pass of the game.
Yeah.
And this game was about hundreds of magicals.
I thought what excited me about it was everything you want a football match to be. It was like a highlights reel of football. All the goals were like, and these are all the sorts of goals you can score in football, like the Neves header was just perfect. The way he flicked it into the back. Every single goal that Elise cutting in and then wanging it in the top corner. It was just absolutely beautiful, beautiful match. Are you hiding this from us, Eric, in France? Is this what all French games are like? Should I only be watching Ligue 1?
No. It happens that there is a lot of goals in the French league due to the fact that Paris Saint-Germain is miles away stronger than the other team. Is a one horse race, the French football league. But behind that, we have so many gifted players. We have such a good education school for professional footballers that when they go abroad, when the Brits, the Spaniards or the German, they go to the French market, they can really find jewels. Look at Cherki, who came to Manchester City. A year ago, he was not a full first choice for Lyon, and we were thinking, is he mentally ready for being such a great player? And you can see with Man City, who is he now? We have up front, I think we have 7 or 8 world-class players of the level that the one you have seen yesterday and you see in the French league, yes.
I mean, speaking of great French talent, I know he's playing for Bayern, but Elise, he is something else.
Yeah, what a player.
Yeah, Elise, we didn't know anything about him. He did play, and he was grown up in England. He did play in England, and then he came to Bayern Munich. He has 4 chances to play for Algeria, Nigeria, England, and France. Lucky enough we are that he is playing for France.
Yeah, we're thrilled about it. Yeah, thrilled, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that. I even don't know why, because he said it was obvious for me, but if he had chosen for England, he might have said it's even more obvious because all my football education comes from England. So, but what can we say? We are so happy to have this added offensive player, and he's a nice guy, and he's a clever guy, and he comes with Bayern Munich education after English education. To me, is a perfect united world colors of football with all the roots that he's sharing and enjoying it.
Who do you think's happier, at full time in this game?
You mean about the two teams?
Yeah.
Who is the happiest?
Yeah, who do you think is going to win next week?
I think if I am a pure neutral, I would say the happiest is the loser. Bayern Munich was dead after 5-2. With this 5-4, they are so close now to have it balanced. They will play home next game. They are offensively very, very strong. And I think that mentally speaking, Paris Saint-Germain is a bit down to have had a 3 goals advantage gone to 1 goal. But after the game, as Ousmane Dembele, who is now a very mature man, he has changed in the last 2 years, mentally speaking, very deeply. And he said, no worries, we're gonna travel to Germany to win the game. And it's something which is not really in the French way of thinking. We could have said, oh, we are going to defend to make our chance to survive in Germany. Now we say, we're going to win in Germany. And this is very new to us, even if we have won 2 World Cup, even we have been European champion, even. But we still have some doubt in our mind. We are not Germans.
Mm. I see it. Hey, well, look, thanks for coming on, Eric. Such a brilliant game. You could talk about it all day. Eric Bilderman there, journalist for L'Equipe. Thanks for your time. A different note, Ryan says, in my old rented house, I went into the loft to discover the owner of the house had a load of stuff stored up there, including their old dog's ashes. His name was Red Warrior, and he deserved better.
He did deserve better. Red Warrior shouldn't have been in the loft. Unless Red Warrior loved it in the loft. Like a dog, they couldn't keep the dog out of the loft.
Most of these followed the same path, as you can imagine, which is basically getting covered in the ashes. Chris says, afternoon, my grandfather used to come and watch me play cricket for years, quite a trek as he lived 100 miles away. On his death, my mum and aunt decided to spread his ashes at the cricket ground. A beautiful moment until a gust of wind covered both my mum and her sister in his ashes. Not quite the send-off we had planned, but I guess he got to where they wanted him to be in the end, even if most of it was brushed out of their clothes. Afternoon, lads. My mate took his dad's ashes to the football a couple of years ago. He went to put them in the corner flag when the wind blew them straight back into his face. He ate most of the ashes, and we still wind him up. We asked him if he swallowed. Okay. We get it. Anyway, loads of them. We'll get through as many as we can. You can catch up on last night's Champions League and Championship action in the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily. Join Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce, Scott Minto and Ian Danter for a full in-depth roundup of what was, it says here, I think it was a brilliant game. I don't know if it was the greatest game of football ever. There is some recency bias.
What does it say? What does it say on the script?
Arguably the greatest Champions League game ever. What do you think?
Well, you can argue anything, can't you?
I'll
point you at other shows on this station,
radio station,
and very much so in this building, that you can actually argue anything.
You really can. But I could
argue that it was the worst Champions League game ever.
Liverpool, Barca, and Ajax, Tottenham, actually, because there was just more jeopardy there in those moments. Anyway. It was a really good game, so go and listen to the talkSPORT Daily when this show is finished. And that was a look back at the weekend's Premier League action with Snickers.
Champions League semi-final review on talkSPORT with Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Grab a Snickers.
We'll keep our eye on Newcastle. Members of PIF travel into Newcastle this week for their annual meeting with the club's departmental heads. How high on the agenda do you think Eddie Howe's name is going to be, Alex?
I think it has to be pretty high because it's been a disappointing season. There's no two ways about that. They're a lot lower down the Premier League table than he would have expected at the start of the campaign. Looks like they're not going to get European football at all next season, which might help them in the long run because I think they found it a struggle balancing Champions League and domestic ambitions. But if I was Eddie Howe, I'd have some questions for the owners. You know, there's players who want out of that football club. Anthony Gordon being one. Sandro Tonali, I don't think it was a coincidence that his agent was leaking stories that Arsenal were interested in January. Tino Livramento, I'm told, has no intention of signing a new contract. But they've got to handle this summer a lot better than they did last. The Alexander Isak saga was allowed to drift on for far too long. If they were going to sell him all along, as I understand was the case, they should have done it much earlier in the window. They would have been in a better position to get top targets, because if Newcastle fans think that Nick Voltemada and Johan Wissa were anywhere near the top of Newcastle's list of potential options at the start of the summer, they're deluded. I think the recruitment was poor. I think the handling of the Isak situation was poor. And I would say be careful what you wish for, because this is a manager who's come in, he inherited.
After the world was treated to the mother of all first leg thrillers last night, talkSPORT's Jason Cundy doesn't think any Arsenal player gets into either Bayern or PSG's team.
The levels of quality in that game was nothing short of extraordinary. And it just goes to, in my opinion, it just goes to show how dull the Premier League is. That has embarrassed, and it's knocked the Premier League into a cocked hat.
Vincent Kompany called PSG 5, Bayern Munich 4, a clash of similar ideas. Here's European football expert Julien Laurent.
And yeah, look at what Vincent is doing already. And I know it helps when you've got Olise and Diaz and Kane in those kind of form. I mean, Olise last night again, and we love Nuno Mendes, maybe the best left back in the world. But Olise made him look like an under-19.
Luis Enrique reckons PSG need 3 goals in Munich to win the tie. The second leg will be live on talkSPORT next Wednesday. Arsenal's turn tonight, though. Huge storms are forecast ahead of their game at Atletico Madrid, live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. In the Championship, Kieran McKenna says Ipswich are in great shape to finish second. They came back to draw at informed Southampton. Tonda Eckhart's side are consigned to the playoffs. He spoke to talkSPORT's Ian Abrahams.
Is that something you're happy with?
I don't care.
You don't care that it might be a bit of extra pressure?
I'm happy with the pressure. It doesn't make a difference.
And if players confront an opponent while covering their mouths at the World Cup this summer, they will be sent off. FIFA's also bringing in red cards for any player who leaves the field in protest at a referee's decision. There's more at talksport.com.
And the referee blows for full time, and Southampton's hopes of automatic promotion have gone, and Ipswich take 1 step, 1 point closer to getting back to the Premier League at the first time of asking. The point they get here puts them 1 clear of Millwall, 2 clear of Middlesbrough, but crucially they're 4 clear of Southampton, and the Saints now cannot catch Ipswich for automatic promotion. It is still in Ipswich Town's hands going into the final day at home to Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, it was a late equaliser, wasn't it, from Jack Clark. Had a couple of chances after that, actually, to seal promotion for Ipswich, but it does mean Southampton will have to settle for the playoffs. Let's talk to their former striker about this and the Masters football and a charity walk as well. Ricky Lambert joins us. Hey, Ricky.
Hello, Ricky.
Hi, fellas. You okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, look, Southampton have been on such a brilliant run, and that is, you know, they've had the sort of heartbreak of thinking they might beat City in the FA Cup semi-final, and then this. But given how well they're playing, would you still back them to do it in the playoffs?
Absolutely. I've got to put them, and not just because they're my team. You've got to put them as favourites. Every season, one team goes in at this stage on form and they've been on fire now for about 2 or 3 months, and it looks like it's going to carry on now. That dressing room is buzzing, and even though these are a couple of disappointments, they'll be happy with where they're at, and they'll be looking forward to these playoffs now.
I suppose once a new manager comes in and makes that change, once the results start happening for the team and you get on a run like that, then everybody buys in, and that's how the momentum starts.
I cannot praise the manager enough. There was a lot going on at Southampton. Obviously, they had the season in the Premier League. The last manager, it wasn't working out. So he's come from nowhere, really. He was the 21s. I don't think he was looked at being the permanent manager.
Yeah.
And he's turned it all around. Not only that, I cannot believe how well he's got these lads playing. They're all playing at the maximum. He looks like he's got them in the perfect shape and formation. But this is what you want as a player at the end of the season. All on song, all got something to play for. It's really exciting.
I mean, the sad thing is, for me, about the rest of it, he's 14 years younger than me. Like, it's okay when a player's younger than you, but a manager that's this good, I mean, this is an absolute nightmare, isn't it?
This is the modern day now, Max.
Yeah, I know, you've got to get used to it. What a job he's done. Now, look, speaking of age, you're now playing in the Masters football, the Champions Cup. It's taking place, on Sunday at Wembley Arena. So you're playing for Liverpool, are you? Real Madrid, Chelsea and Ajax. Can you still do a bit,
fantastic.
Ricky?
Well, me and Big Andy Carroll up front, so let's see how they deal with that.
Indoors, though.
Get it
not above head height, surely. No head height indoors.
It is over head height. That was one of the rules I stapled, yeah. No, really, it's on the 31st of May.
Yeah.
So I took part in a local one here, Man City, Man United and Everton. It was absolutely brilliant. So when I got asked to be involved in this one, as you can see, the names involved, really excited. Can't wait.
Andy's still playing,
though.
Andy's still playing at Dagenham and Redbridge, isn't he?
That's the secret to these Masters. It's like the fitter you are, the better you're going to do. And luckily, I'm not the legs in this team, so I'm happy with that.
That's it. I mean, that is it, isn't it? You get the big names, and then there are like a few lads who are about 32 who played like 4 games, and you're just going, actually, they're running things. But you'd say Mykhailo Mudryk's playing, Kanu's playing, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Yari, what a player Litmanen was.
Oh,
but you Litmanen, is it Litmanen just behind you and Andy Carroll? Is that the Liverpool? Or is he going to play for? Who's he going to play for?
Yeah, so we've got Jermaine Pennant, again, still very fit.
Yeah.
Kelly, John Flanagan, all fit lads who've only just kind of retired. We've got Westerveld in goal.
Yeah.
So we're just short of one player. I tried to get Adam Lallana, but he couldn't quite make it.
And is it white line fever? You know, once you start, then it's, taking it as seriously as your England debut?
Honestly, in here, it's still there. It's all still there until the ball's at your feet and you actually try and physically do it, and then you realise things are not quite the same here.
Yeah, when you speak to pros like yourself, Ricky, they all say the speed of the career is just unbelievable. You can't believe how quickly it actually goes.
Yeah. No, I got told that when I was young. And when you're not doing so well and you're struggling for a club, it kind of drags, and you're not thinking about that. But so when you're in the midst of things, like it's done, it's over, and you're on the downhill. And then you turn 30, and everyone's then looking at you as if to hang up your boots. It's crazy how quick it goes.
Just on Liverpool, the current side, obviously been a tricky season for lots of reasons, actually, but they've won a couple now. It looks like they're definitely going to get the Champions League now. Do you think that's enough to give Arne Slot another season?
Yeah, I've been questioning it the last few weeks because some of the performances really worried me. The lads it didn't look like they were running and giving everything, which was alarming to see. That kind of seemed a blip. and it looks like they're back on it. So definitely give them another season, see how it goes. It has been a massive transition because we won the league last year. We have, and then spent a fortune.
Yeah.
We have kind of probably jumped ahead of ourselves. So let's just see how it goes next season.
Yeah, I kind of think winning the league should give you grace. Like, that is quite a good thing to do. Like, that should give you another year, shouldn't it? But I mean, I think
most fans, but there was performances, especially like at Tottenham at home, that just a lot of fans were a little bit like took back by. But that seems, like I said, it seems like that was a blip. So hopefully that's the case.
You're doing a charity walk. Yeah, charity walk. Yeah. March of the Day 3, the charity walk for MND, which is obviously a cause that is close to a lot of sports people's hearts.
Yes, no, this is my first time doing it, which is an honour. As you can see, it's motor neuron disease, a disease that affects so many families. It's raising funds for the Derby Rimmer Foundation, a foundation that has been set up to help families affected by this. I thank you for giving me the time to wear. You can come and join us. The walk starts on the 1st of June, starts off at Anfield, and doing 350 miles. I'm doing 3 days.
Wow.
And you can join at Redwood Events. Come and do the walk with us.
Yeah, and it's easy. You go to Liverpool, then Goodison. And the walk is from stadium to stadium, isn't it? So it's
we so many stay. I think these 44, if not way more, clubs involved. Meeting people from each club as well, and a lot of people from these clubs are going to be there with us on the walk. Loads from Liverpool, Everton, Man United, Man City. It's an unbelievable cause, and I've seen the effort put in by the people who are organising this, and it's incredible.
Yeah, raising money for the Derby Rimmer MND Foundation and the Rob Burrow Centre as well. I don't know. Like, Jeff Stelling used to do these walks for Prostate Cancer UK, Ricky, and I did a day of one of them. It is absolutely, at the end of day one, you'll be like, why have I said 3? One is like, you're doing a good job, bro.
Well, I got told this. Stewie Barlow was the one who got me involved. His mum sadly passed away with the disease, so I was honoured to say it. But one of the things he quickly replied is make sure you do the training for it, Rick. So I've been playing a lot of golf. I'm doing a lot of walking, but honestly, it'll be an honour to be involved in it.
Maybe carry a 7-iron with you, just so you feel like
What? So take your mind off.
Just take your mind off it. You just walk in between shots, or something like that.
I would take a buggy personally, but look, good for you for doing that, Ricky, and good luck in the Masters. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Ricky.
Thank you, fellas. Nice one.
Ricky Lambert there, former Southampton, Liverpool, and England striker. Honestly, those Stelling ones.
Yeah, I've never done a long walk like that.
There was one where Jeff and his mate Russell, I think they'd done like 9 marathons in 9 days, and I turned up for like the 10th one. And at the end, I had to be carried into Vicarage Road. Like, I just was so broken.
How could Jeff do it? Because Jeff had done the training. Is that why he could do it?
I don't know how Jeff could do it.
Superhuman?
Yeah, maybe he's superhuman. It's just good at everything.
He's good at everything, isn't he? Yeah. Good at this.
Although, I know you still got beef with him over some Hartlepool talk again.
They cheated, but
I can't remember. He's saying let it go. But there you
massive
go.
Cheats on the day and came back down the following season or the season later, pointless them going up. Absolutely ruined my life. But other than that, good luck, Jeff.
I would love to throw my ashes out, all the ashes out, not my ashes, as this text. My wife has the ashes of 4 dogs and my mother and father-in-law in the house. I'll need to buy a bigger house like Charlie's with automatic gates that can scatter ashes, he says.
Come on.
And regards the one that was hoovered up, Tony says, was the guy who got hoovered up called Henry? Thank you, Tony.
Very nice.
Appreciate that. Keep those coming, please. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4. Former Premier League ref Graham Scott's agreed to come on. I don't think they said, Max will literally, it's like an old man yelling at a cloud now about handball. But like, it was a brilliant game in the Champions League.
Wasn't
but that
handball
decision, I'm so furious about it. I can't, and I don't get angry about things. But like, this is the most serious thing happening in the world right now. Is that handball. It's Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Get your toolbox essentials this spring with big savings on screws and fixings. Next stop, Toolstation.
bet you are delighted that I'm a Celebrity's all over. You've got to be thrilled at that.
I thought I'd gone to the wrong show. I thought it was the Jeremy Cole show. I've never seen so much aggravation. I thought I'm in the wrong studio here. And all the crowd are shouting things. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Oh, I bet it was.
I thought, don't, I'm not a celebrity. Get me out of here. That's what I was going to say. It was David. David was, he was in good form. David Hay. But listen. Andy, we've been brought up in dressing rooms. You've been around football, you two guys, Andy, all your life. Banter. This wasn't strong banter compared to what you've had in dressing rooms over the years. You just get on with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
It all got out of hand. People couldn't take a bit of banter and become a big issue.
Yeah, no, it's a shame because again, great personalities, great characters in there.
Yeah,
but it's been unbelievable what's been.
I was up in Scotland yesterday.
No way, where were you, mate?
I was at the Hibs Hearts game.
Oh, how did you enjoy it?
I loved it. What an atmosphere!
Aye.
And the people were great. I had a great day. Malcolm McPherson, a friend of mine, was the chairman at Hibs at one time. Malky. I went and met Malky Mackay. They met me and we went for a bit of lunch. And Peter Lowell came, chairman, from chief executive at Celtic.
Yeah.
He came, we had a bit of...
Olivia Moore! And they sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
Well, you've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
With Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Leah Nuki writes, my wife's uncle died and she had the ashes on the table. One morning she got up and saw the ash all over the floor, went mad at me, claiming I'd knocked it over. It was only when she moved the dog's bed and found the remnants of a box and a tag which read Brad, she realised the sausage dog had eaten Brad.
Oh, dear.
And this is from Brian in Bickler. Poor old Brad. It's what he would have wanted. A mate of mine, says Brian in Billericay, on one of his fishing trips, one of the guys produced an urn with his friend's ashes to be buried at sea. They anchored up, and as the ashes were being scattered, here we go, a gust of wind. It's just in every single text.
Why does the wind hate ashes so much?
Sent half of them onto the side of the boat, half scattered at sea, and the rest half hosed off in the harbour. Apparently the deceased would have found this very funny. Keep those coming. 1889 at Max Rushden, 03717 22344. If you want to WhatsApp them to us, you can. Let's talk to former Premier League ref Graham Scott. Hi, Graham. How are you?
Graham.
Good afternoon. Good to be back.
Now, I find the handball law, Graham, is upsetting me more than anything else happening in global politics at the moment, which is perhaps a sign of a complete lack of perspective on my part. But that handball yesterday, Alphonso Davies has no time. Like, it's just how, and some people actually think that's a penalty now. That's how far we've gone. Maybe you do, I don't know. But I'm just angry and I want to yell at anyone I can. I'm not holding you responsible, Graham, but just, can you talk to somebody? Can you help me?
Probably not. I don't think it's handball. I don't think it's even close. I think it's a decision to be made. I know some people may scoff at this, but I think in a Premier League game, the VAR would look at one replay and just move on. I don't think even consider it. It's because the starting point's different. So last night it was a Spanish VAR with a Swiss referee, which is slightly odd in itself. Why then ask them to make a decision while talking to each other in English, which is what they actually make them do. But anyway, the Spanish have a system where an interpretation of handball, which is if it hits the arm in the penalty area, it is a penalty unless I've got a really good reason not to give it. I have to find lots of very strong mitigation not to award a penalty. Whereas in England, it's the polar opposite. So we would say it's hit the arm. We'll say, what has hit the arm? Has he done anything? Should it be punished? Should it be penalised? If his arm's above his head, yeah, fair enough. If his arm's way away from his body, yeah, we'll give that one. If he's actually batted it away, well, obviously. Last season, there were 9 penalties in the Premier League for handball. In La Liga, there were nearly 30. That's the difference. And quite why we have to have this vastly different interpretation from one competition to the next is beyond me. I don't understand why we can't reach some sort of happy middle ground. But wherever
that would be my question.
Yeah.
Why would you do this? Surely IFAB, if IFAB, and I wouldn't trust them to make the right call, came up with a consistent call, so the Premier League and the Champions League and La Liga look the same, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
Well, they are striving for that, but the bad news is for anyone who likes English football, and I think the three of us are in that camp, is they want us to come into line with the rest of Europe. They're trying to make. There's this slightly, I think, unnecessary pursuit of consistency in the idea that somehow a slightly fairer game will be a better game. I think you can have a fairer game and spoil it. So I wish we weren't quite so obsessed with it. But let's become the modern trend. We must have consistency. We must be the same in every game. Well, the way to achieve that, unfortunately, with handball seems to be we're going to give all of them. We did that in England in the COVID season in 2020, 21 or 21, 22. And it lasted 4 weeks before the Premier League said, no, stop.
Yeah, no one wants that.
We know we asked for it, but we don't want it now. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. But it does. My fear is that we're going to end up with more handballs than fewer next season in the Premier League. No one's going to be happy about that.
Did you find? I mean, it's a bit like, if you're in the army, you can't question the politics of the war. You just have to do it. Like were there quite often decisions you'd have to give that you, in your heart, felt were wrong, but by the laws that you had been told you had to give this penalty? I mean, could you say to the players, look, I don't think it is, but rules are rules, mate?
Yeah. Handball sometimes, but also player takes his shirt off. His mother died in the week. He's left a tribute on the now I'm going to have to run to the crowd. He's holding his, and you've got to give a yellow card. I mean, you think. But if you don't, then of course the other lot come along and batter you. Oh, where's the consistency? Why? You would have been sent off. He's going to play another game where you shouldn't have done. And you kind of think, why can't we just leave the referees actually allow them to use some common sense? Why can't we allow them to give them a bit more license just to understand the game? Because we do understand the game. Whether people say we do get it. We understand the moment, and we'll get some wrong, and we'll make some decisions that people don't like, but that happens anyway. So we may as well trust the refs to give the best decision in that moment. Last night, that referee didn't want to give a penalty for handball, and he would have felt. When you go to the screen, you feel obliged to go with the VAR because they have reviewed everything dispassionately. So you kind of think you should be able to trust the outcome. We have seen that this year a referee at Man City did say, no, I'm disregarding what you're saying. I don't think it's handball, and fair play to him for that, even though there is a debate to be had around whether he was right, but fair play to him for at least standing up to that. But last night, I think probably that referee probably just didn't feel he could. And that's a shame too.
And what, Graham, what do you think it is within UEFA? Is it, as you say, just a desperation for consistency? Because they can't be people who watch football and love football. I'm convinced about this. And I mean, people's views of what a handball is and isn't has changed because football is tribal and you see someone get a handball, you say, well, that must be one for us. And you're desperate for your team to win and get a penalty regardless. But who at a decision-making level within football, either at UEFA or FIFA or, IFAB or whatever, actually goes, a penalty is the right punishment for the ball striking Alphonso Davies there. No one can genuinely think that's what should happen.
Well, there's two committees at FIFA. There's a technical committee, which is led by Wenger. That's it's actually entirely ex-players and coaches. There's only one ref on it, and it's actually the representative from Wales, and she was a player too. She's an international player in her own right too. And then there's a referees committee, which is a bit more advisory, where of course you have got to involve the refs because they've got to enforce the rules that you're writing. So, and England's represented on that by Howard Webb. and the home nations are quite heavily represented on both. But there does seem to be on handball in particular, it does seem that the Spanish approach, which is to give them all, unless we've got a very good reason not to, as I said earlier, is prevailing at the moment, and it's a shame. I think it's a shame for the game, and it is, as I keep saying, it's just that they want a more consistent outcome. If you give them all, at least we know where we stand. Whereas if you only give some, then you'll end up with this endless debate around where the line is drawn and so on.
And also, could you speak to some of them and say, look, if you are going to penalise every handball, make it a free kick. Like I'm not that upset if you go, well, a bit like if it hit, if it hits a foot in hockey, now that's a penalty corner, but so it's slightly different. But like if it hits Alphonso Davies' hand there, and you go, okay, well, that's a free kick just inside the box there. They might score, they might not, but that's kind of like, I think, I know people hate changing any law in football, and you'll get lots of text saying this will just complicate it even further. But like, unless it is going in, just give a free kick.
I think you could argue for a free kick, but please not have them in the box, because they'll take ages to set up. I mean, it'll be like a scrum in rugby where we might as well go to an ad break for 2 minutes at a scrum, won't we? Because nothing happens. They set up, they set down, they set up again. You could give a free kick, but then move the free kick outside the area. We already moved the ball from where the offence was to the penalty spot. Well, we could extend that principle and move the ball out of the penalty area and have a free kick outside. But you'd still have to have some penalties for handball, so where it's clearly deliberate, when it's just stopping a goal, things like that. So we'd still end up with a debate and a grey area. Well, was this one enough for a penalty? Was this one should have been given as a free kick? So wherever we land, there will still be a dispute, a grey area, a subjective. There'll be a threshold. There'll be all sorts of jargon that people can throw at any decision, and then defend it or attack it, whichever their viewpoint. I would just rather see fewer handballs and just accept that sometimes the ball will hit the arm. Well, there's a thing.
I just say let the referee the game, Graham. Is what I think.
Would like that. Of course, I would.
Get rid of and everybody shrug at the end and go, well, that was annoying. Oh well, we move on to next week. That's what I say.
And I'm going to Swindon on Saturday in the desperate hope that we climb back into the playoff thing. And we'll
you've messed things up, haven't you, Graham? Swindon have really messed things up late.
Really late on. You had a great start with Swindon.
I know, it's been terrible. But anyway, we hang on to the hope that Ian Holloway will sort us out and get us over the line. But yes.
Good. Look, good luck to you. And good luck to Ollie as well. Thank you, Graham. Thanks for coming on,
Graham.
as always.
No problem at all.
Former Premier Ref there, Graham Scott. It's Max and Charlie with you on talkSPORT till 4 o'clock.
Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. 03717 223344. Mohammed in Cardiff. Good morning. Where are you at with this then?
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon.
Morning.
Well, congratulations for your winning your award.
Thanks, mate.
But I think this is just another retirement paycheck for both of these fighters. 5 years ago, this fight would have been amazing. Both of them were in their prime. Both of them were world champions. It probably would have been a biggest fight in British boxing history. But now, Fury, you've seen a decline in his last fight. AJ hasn't been the same for a while. And it looks like it's just another big retirement paycheck for the both of them.
Yeah, but Mohammed, you'll watch it, right? You won't miss it.
No, I don't think I watch it, if I'm honest. Like, there's a fight on Saturday, Benavides versus Ramirez. That's a fight
that's a proper
watching.
fight. Yeah,
you see, that's a proper fight. Wardley and Dubois, another fight.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
There's
right.
jeopardy behind it. But this fight is just like Eubank and Ben. It's just another cop-out. Obviously, these two guys have achieved more than Ben and Eubank, but it looks like 5 years ago would have been great, but now I don't think I'd be wasting my time on watching, if I'm honest.
Interesting, Mohammed. Listen, thanks for that. Arsenal fan, boxing fan, Keith, we know you. Keith, good morning. You having this fight?
Good morning. I'm doing a favour. What a lot of nonsense. Fury against Joshua. Let me tell you something. Anthony Joshua is one of the luckiest men in the history of British boxing. When he fought in the Olympics.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden and Charlie Baker.
Hello.
On TalkSport until 4.
Hello there.
You okay?
Yeah. Just wanted to, we were discussing earlier, weren't we, Max, that we can't hear the adverts. We're in a different studio today. If it sounds odd at all, or if you're noticing any technical difficulties, we are in a slightly different studio today. The old downstairs studio, aren't we, Max?
The old downstairs. It's where they put people before they send them to TalkSport 2, then to TalkSport 3.
Is that what?
And then never to be heard of again.
Wouldn't it be good if TalkSport 2 was actually called, and this is TalkSport 2, as in as well. Anyway.
I see.
I'm on TalkSport, and I'm on TalkSport 2. No, you're not?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that was what I was going to say. We can't hear the adverts,
department.
can we, Max? And it's very, very odd. Very weird. It just goes to silence.
And the thing is, you know, normally when you're listening, you're like, oh, God, I don't want to listen to this. But now I yearn for Tool Station. I learned for that divorce lawyer one. Your wife is going to leave and take everything.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on for a while. That's it. I yearn for Chris Riccobono. Anyway.
Who doesn't?
Adrian Durham's in Madrid ahead of Atleti Arsenal. There are storm warnings. Are you dry, Adrian?
Yeah, it's actually sunny at the moment, but we've heard about the storm warnings. And actually,
clouds, when we arrived in Madrid this morning, the clouds looked like they were ready to unleash. So they haven't done yet, but by the time the game comes around, it could be. And you know how slippy that pitch was against Spurs? Well, expect it to be even slippier tonight.
No, that's true.
Adrian, why do you hate the National League South so much? Because when you last night you were saying the scores of all the games last night, and you said the result of the National League North playoff, and you did not say the result of the National League South playoff. Why was that? Why do you hate it so much?
This is important stuff. So, what time was this?
It went to extra time and it was penalties. I know why it was, Adrian. I was just trying to show everybody your non-league credentials.
I was more invested in Peterborough United staying up, which happened last night as well.
Oh, that's good news.
Many congratulations. It does mean we'll get to play you next season, of course.
If you go up.
When we win a crew.
That's not decided yet.
You are chief.
The biggest derby in football. The biggest derby in football. Cambridge beat Peterborough.
Adrian, you are Arsenal's chief troll. I would suggest, have been for many years.
Is he?
He has been for very many years. Very many. Daily Arsenal.
No, I know the Daily Arsenal. I just feel like the influence
5 days a week
taking it up
trolling Arsenal.
Yeah, okay.
On national radio for 1 million plus people. Right. Are they going to win tonight, Adrian? What do you think?
Well, Darren Bent and I were on the plane together, and I'm glad he was with me because he was my security. There were plenty of Arsenal fans on there, and actually. By the end of the flight, the ones around us, one of them came up to me and said, "You're not actually that bad." And I said, "I am, really."
You're not.
I had to disagree.
It's all an act.
I survived. I'm unscathed. So, bearing in mind my wife is an Arsenal fan as well, I have to be supportive. And I want an English side to get to the Champions League final, largely because it means I will go to the Champions League final as well. So I'm very much on Arsenal's side with this one. But I think that in terms of tonight, and there's been a lot said about how open last night was and how unopen tonight is going to be. I actually think that Atletico Madrid have got slightly better players and have got a slightly more motivation. There's a lot of noise around Griezmann and Simeone, and him are having a bit of a bromance right now. So, and I understand why. Alvarez has been linked with Arsenal as well, so that might be motivation for him. Ultimately, Arsenal battered Atletico Madrid 4-0 at the Emirates earlier in the campaign, in the league stage. It was an even first half, and then Arsenal took over. So I think they might just take confidence from that, and Arsenal will squeeze through the tie, I think.
But it is important to know that Atleti aren't the Atleti that we have in our minds of just like 11 big oafs. Like you mentioned there, Griezmann and Alvarez, and like they are a different, they have changed under Simeone for quite a long time now. And you'd be forgiven if you don't watch La Liga every week, and I don't watch it every week, for thinking they are, this will just be two attritional teams. But really, Atleti are a more attacking side than Arsenal.
Well, I mean, there's elements of Arteta's Arsenal this season. Actually, it was a discussion we were having with the Arsenal fans that this is not the very best or most attractive version of Arteta's Arsenal there has been, even though it may well go on to win something substantial this season. We'll see. But actually, this Arsenal side is more Simeone's Atletico Madrid than the current Simeone's Atletico Madrid. There's a lot of dark arts, gamesmanship. Gabriel, I mean, how he's not, well, he must be one of the most hated footballers in the country, just because of his little fouls, his innocent little face, the way he puts his hands up when he's fouled somebody, pretends he hasn't, the way he got Arteta talking about red cards that were never red cards, but didn't mention Gabriel's clear red card on Haaland. So it's a Jedi trick that isn't really working, I don't think. We're not that stupid, Mikel Arteta. But I think there's a lot of elements of Arsenal right now that they've copied basically from Simeone's traditional Atleti. But you're right, they are much more fun to watch. They score some terrific goals. They can be electric going forward as well. So I think Arsenal have got to beware.
He can't help himself. Did you hear that, Max? Then you him going in on Arsenal. Then can't help himself.
I heard it.
I speak truth.
And we weren't trying to. I just love the idea of an Arsenal fan, speaking for the club. Going, you're all right, you are. It turns out you're all right.
You know what, mate? Like the end of a film.
You're not as,
you know what, mate? You're all right.
Yeah.
No hugging. No hugging, no learning on talkSPORT. Come on.
You see, a seal of approval that I've been waiting for all my career.
This is unrelated, but like years ago, I got a letter to talkSPORT in green pen, no punctuation, and it said this. It said, I always thought you were the most boring, uninteresting presenter on Soccer AM. But then I listened to someone covering for Adrian on Drive for a week, and I realised it was you. From that moment on, my opinion of you didn't change. I was waiting for the good bit, and then it said that. Anyway, have a lovely time, Adrian. We'll be listening.
Si, senor. Green pen. Wow.
Green pen, yeah. Well, there we are.
Green pen, no punctuation, the best ones there. Adrian Durham there, who will be your host. Live commentary, of course, of our
best in the business.
Best in the business. What do you reckon is going to happen tonight, Charlie?
Draw. 2-2.
You reckon a draw? 2-2.
1-1. I don't think Arsenal win the Champions League, though. I can't see whoever wins that game from last night next week. Whoever wins the second leg of PSG or Bayern League.
It does look like a different type of football, doesn't it?
It's a different game.
Night?
It's like
different.
Why are we? The Premier League has got very boring. I think very boring. Yeah, very boring.
I mean, it's got very sad.
It's all sideways
from a Tottenham point of view.
Lots of sideways and backwards, and some moving forwards at some point. VAR's killing it. They can't work it. You need to get rid of it. I honestly
get rid of the whole Premier League.
Not the whole of the Premier League. No, VAR is the problem because no one can celebrate their goals or have any fun.
I agree with you. I get rid of VAR, but it is worth pointing out that VAR meant that Luis Diaz's goal stood last night. So, occasionally there are moments where you go.
Yes, but if it hadn't, everyone just shrugs and goes, "Oh, well, that was a mistake by the Lino." Oh, Lino, come on,
I agree.
Lino.
I don't disagree. I would absolutely.
It's every other look, and if Spurs do go down, I genuinely think after a few games they'll go, "This is all right, actually. Don't mind it. Having a nice time, having a great fun time."
It is possible.
It'd be like
really
time
hard to
travel for them, like going back to the 70s, and it's just going to be great.
Glenn Hoddle, they'll buy Hoddle, won't they?
I don't think they'll do that.
Can he do Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday? I'm not sure Hoddle can do Saturday, Tuesday. I
mean, that match at the weekend. I mean, the National League is amazing. I absolutely love. I don't love being a non-league team, Max, but the National League and the National League South and North it is such a brilliant, fun level of football to watch. That end of Rochdale York on Saturday, I wasn't even surprised that happened. That sort of thing happens all the time, especially in playoffs and in the games towards the end of the season. Because the players have a mistake in them, that sort of thing happens all the time. And so the games are absolutely crackers. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Now we need two players. No, we need one player, don't we? For the wheel of football, because winner stays on. If we've remembered who won, there were two people who had the same name. Could not have two callers with the same name. That was too much.
A Portsmouth fan,
a West Brom fan, or a Portsmouth fan?
Ben, the Portsmouth
Someone called
fan?
Ben. Ben, the West Brom fan. If you'd like to take on Ben, he was very good at the wheel of football. He's very persuasive. If you've never heard the wheel of football before, we will. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
All you need to do is be able to think of 5 footballers. So if you have that in your locker and you'd like to take on Ben, it's very much still the pilot stage. This is only episode 3. You know, sometimes if a quiz is good, Charlie and I will.
It's not really a quiz. It's like a discussion, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It is a discussion.
Fun
It's very
discussion.
much a panel discussion. It's a panel discussion, a footballing panel discussion. 03717 223344. If you would like to take on Ben, the West Brom fan, at the wheel of football, we'll do some more PSG Bayern with Rafa Honigstein in just a second. It is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT. You can. I didn't really say talkSPORT very well there, which is an issue for this station. talkSPORT. That's a different station.
Whole of the station.
Isn't it? TalkPort, and then after that, Talk Gout. Anyway, you can watch Al Taiwoon versus Al Ittihad in the Royce. Oh, blimey, the Roush, the Saudi League tonight on TalkSport.
Is this your first time reading, Max, or are you...
I've never done a show before. I really thought I was
think you've done quite a lot of shows. I feel like you've done a lot of radio.
Yeah, what's happened? Maybe, do you know what? At some point, maybe you just stopped being able to do it. Maybe that was the moment.
Just blame the new studio.
Suddenly,
blame this.
It's a bit like a footballer when your legs have gone. They just knew my legs had gone. Suddenly, I just knew my ability to talk.
His reading's gone.
Anyway, on the talkSPORT YouTube channel, the Saudi League is on from 5:10 this afternoon. It's Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation.
So they won, Martin, and well done, Arsenal, for doing so. But with 4 games to go, can Arsenal unshackle themselves? Do they need to?
Well, I mean, look, to be honest, the situation Arsenal are in is normal. It's never easy to be a team that doesn't win it after successive years. 22 years for Arsenal, 26 years, wasn't it, for Manchester United, 44 years for Man City. You know, we can still hear Aguero in the commentary because what it meant and the day they tripped up there against Queen's Park Rangers. So these nerves are there. It's natural. I just thought that the weekend, Eze, how he handled those nerves, I think he's an example to everybody in the team, how he's loving the situation. I was stunned by the naivety of Newcastle, not recognising that, okay, we're all marking in the box, but that's not the player we need to pick up. And there was 2 early corners that was assigned to that, and his finish was magnificent.
But that's strange, isn't it? Eze, the one player who's never been involved in a title run-in, in a title race, is the standout.
Yes, but you think about his progression in the game, 27 years of age. Arsenal didn't want him, rejected him. His route to this level, he's enjoying the moment, embracing it, and that has to be the attitude. I think if I contrast that with Zupimendi, he's played a lot of games. It's a difficult moment for him, but then these are the players you support. The result does the trick. It gives you that tonic. It makes you think you can keep going. You know, we've sat here now so many times. For me, it's been like climbing Mount Everest here. We have 4 games to go where Arsenal are top of the league and in the semi-final of the Champions League, and there's a crisis everywhere, every week.
Sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
Well, you've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Stephen says, regards my my throat a break just then. Leave the radio before the radio leaves you, says Stephen, hashtag Casemiro. And this text says, Max, leave the radio before the radio leaves you. Stop it, everybody.
Don't they know you've got 2 children, Max, for goodness sake? The only person ever to have 2 children, aren't you?
I'm trying to do more shows, for goodness sake. Anyway, let's hear from Bayern boss Vincent Kompany. He spoke to Amazon Prime after their 5-4 defeat to PSG in the Champions League.
Yeah, I would say, what do you want? Do you want teams that? I think you've seen a lot of good defending today. Intense duels and this, but it's just the margins are so little. And you only have 2 ways. So the first one is to go full, or the second one is to retreat fully. The in-between doesn't work against that level of players. The in-between doesn't work against our level of players.
Let's talk to German football expert Rafa Hartenstein. Hey, Rafa.
Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour, nice to talk to you. I mean, I love the game. I'm not sure the defending was brilliant. I mean, it's not easy against those attackers, but I'm not sure the defending was brilliant. What do you think?
Well, I mean, brilliant defending and 9 goals are not usually things we hear in the same sentence, but I kind of understand where he's coming from, because there was some wonderful sort of individual performances. I mean, Upamecano probably had one of his best games. Mm-hmm. But then it's hard to praise him individually when the team collectively score 4 and still lose a game. But that's a effect, if you will, of a man-marking system. You're going to have situations where people lose their marker somewhere else up the pitch, and then you, as the guy who has your marker, are basically overrun. You have really bad decision to make. Are you leaving your guy to go with the other one, or are you sticking with your guy and then the guy runs at you? We saw sometimes centre-backs running throughout the whole pitch because they managed to escape their marker, then there's no one else to pick them up. It's like almost football how it used to be before the sweeper system was invented in the 70s. But it made for such a thrilling contest as a result.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's that, you know, like I suppose this is the nature of, if you have two teams who are trying to play attacking football, then Elise will be left one-on-one. And Nuno Mendes might be a brilliant defender, but even still, that is Elise. You know, that's you know, he can win that one-on-one a lot. You got Kvaratskhelia the other side. Like, if you double up on them, then you just don't have as many attackers on the pitch, type thing.
It's not just that. It's also that those two teams, they do everything to isolate these type of players. So the whole build-up will be conceived in a way that then leads to Olise being 1v1. So that's the game plan, because they'll push one of the fullbacks up against the guy who would double up. The guy has to then stay with the fullback, and then Olise is one-on-one. So in theory, you could just say, let's just be deeper, let's just double up. But in practice, they find ways of preventing just that. And both teams, once they're in the final third, are virtually unstoppable because of that.
Rafa, both these teams have run away with their leagues. Do you think these groups of players enjoy playing this sort of game because it gets them to really, really test themselves? Like when they're playing, do you think they think, oh, this is good? Do you think they either think this is great fun, I'm really enjoying this, or do they think, oh no, they're really good?
Look, it's the Champions League. They just want to win. They'd be happier if they weren't tested and win every game 5-0 in the Champions League. But they know they're going to have a hard time against this sort of opposition, and it's going to be a super tight game. I mean, Luis Enrique said after the game yesterday, he spoke to his analysts and they said, we'll probably have to score 3 goals in the second leg to go through. Even if that's taken with a pinch of salt, that's an unbelievable statement and shows you just how both sides basically feel it's almost inevitable that they're going to concede. But what they can control is how many goals they score. That's the aim. You know, you outscore the opposition rather than trying to hope to keep a clean sheet and maybe nick one at the other end. It's just a completely different attitude.
Yeah, and it's hard to say. I'd fancy Bayern, given the way the scoring went and they were 5-2 down, that actually they will go into the second leg a bit more confident than PSG.
I think both teams are full of confidence after this game. PSG have shown that they can score. PSG could have scored more goals. They very nearly... Sorry, just going for the Eurostar here. They very nearly scored a 6th goal, which perhaps would have given Bayern a bit too much to do. 6-4 is very different than 5-4. But at the same time, Bayern could have scored more goals as well. So Bayern felt, yes, it was a defeat, but it was a defeat that was in the end like a 1-0 defeat. And a 1-0 defeat, even without away goals under the old rules, is not insurmountable in the second leg. So I think the fact that they came back from the 5-2 after an hour, that's where you really felt, okay, the tie now could very well be over. If PSG score one more goal, it's probably over. If Bayern don't score another goal, it's probably over. But they came back from that, so it felt more like a draw than a defeat, I think.
Yeah. And has Luis Diaz been playing like that all season? I thought he was... I mean, there were so many brilliant performances, but he was sensational.
He was unbelievable. He had moments like this, but I don't think he's ever had the same consistent brilliance throughout the 90 minutes. I mean, he is a guy that gives you consistency at a very high level, but perhaps doesn't quite have the peaks of a Mykhailo Mudryk. But yesterday, he was 9 out of 10 for 90 minutes, which is just an unbelievable thing to do at this level. And I agree. I think he was Bayern's best player on the pitch by a mile, and it was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And where are you in that? There's that bottleneck bit at the Eurostar. Are you through that bottleneck bit, or whereabouts are you?
I'm just before passport control because I'm not sure I can pass through talking to you.
Oh right.
So, but it's all good. It's not too busy. It's not too busy.
Okay, good stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Rafa. It's always nice to chat.
Pleasure.
Have
Who
a
do you
good
think?
train
Who
journey.
do you think is going to win it, Rafa?
Win the tie or win the
Win
Champions
the
League?
tie. Win the tie.
I still back Bayern because I have to.
I agree.
But
I think
it's I think it's as much of a coin flip as it was before the first
If
leg.
it was
Maybe
1-0, if it was 1-0
55 to
PSG.
45 now. But that's it.
It's basically 1-0, isn't it? So
Exactly.
So it's 1.
Exactly.
If it was 1-0, you completely shift. You completely say Bayern are going to win that game 2-1.
Yeah. Yeah, but 2-1 will not be enough.
So you know what I
There'll
mean?
be extra time.
2-2 or 3. You know.
Yeah, I think 3-1 is a
goal.
realistic.
Buy a goal.
A realistic target, or 6-3, something like that.
All right. Cheers, Rafa. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Rafa Honigstein there. If you're getting the same Eurostar.
Another international traveller, Max. That's 2 you've spoken to today, Matt, and Adrian, of course.
Of course. We're an international station. You cycled to Belgium yesterday, didn't you?
Cycled to Belgium
for no
through
reason.
France.
For no
It's a long
reason.
way, isn't it? It's a long way.
Yeah, and we did get criticism for having Eric Bilderman on and saying not asking him why all of France is closed.
We do need to know that. If
and
anybody
is
knows
our
that.
mistake. Yeah. Now, set your alarms for the talkSPORT breakfast show tomorrow. Who doesn't do that anyway?
We all do.
6 a.m. as Jeff Stelling, Gabby O'Brien will be joined by the man who's just taken commentary back to the big time, Frank Lampard. Are they saying that Frank is doing 6 a.m.? I'd have booked him for later, like a 8:15 prime time.
I don't think he'll be
But
there
we are.
on the dot of 6.
You think he'll be there at 6?
Don't know. Depends what he's got to do. Maybe he has to do something later in the day. He might have other commitments.
Possible. Yeah. Well, if you're listening, Frank, what are your commitments for the whole day? Give us a list. That sounds a bit like a good podcast. Anyway, it is Max and Charlie with you until 4. We're going to play the Wheel of Football next.
Yes. Have we got a caller? We've got a caller.
Exciting. Have we got a caller? Is someone nodding at you?
Let's hope so.
03717. Yes, we do. Of course
do.
we do.
Yes.
Yeah, the phone lines are red hot. I can't see them, so I don't know if they are, but they're red hot. We've got one. So we have a new competitor to take on Ben, the West Brom fan, in the Wheel of Football in just a second.
Lincoln City celebrated their title win this weekend. Decided this is the big moment to mock Spurs.
What? Oh my God! up the imps. Up the imps. Jay, Tottenham away, ole ole. That is shameless.
I don't know where to go.
Tottenham. Do you know that game now has been built up to something?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been a thing because of you. Because of you.
It has nothing to do with me. I'm not.
No, it is. No, it's because of you. You made it a
I'm
thing.
not playing centre off Spurs.
It's just who we are,
It's
mate.
not my fault you're there.
Oh, it's a killer. Oh, it's a killer. Lincoln away next season.
Mate, don't knock the imps, mate. Up the imps.
Lincoln away.
Ole, ole.
It's just killer. It is. Can
Can you imagine Spurs start singing Lincoln away, ole, ole?
Well, you know what? We're going to have to. Maybe we're going to have to.
No, Jay, get out of it, mate.
Do you think we'll get out of it?
Jay, I've been saying all along you'll get out of it, right? You'll find a way. I cannot... Look, it's a straight shootout between you and West Ham.
Yeah.
Up your hands. Straight shootout, mate.
Oh, I can't see it.
Uh,
I can't see it.
No, it is a straight shootout between you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but West Ham are decent.
Mate, they've been decent.
They've been all right.
Look, you picked up your first victory, right? Roberto Dispersi.
After the world was treated to the mother of all first leg thrillers last night, talkSPORT's Jason Cundy doesn't think any Arsenal player gets into either Bayern or PSG's team.
the levels of quality in that game was nothing short of extraordinary. And it just goes to, in my opinion, it just goes to show how dull the Premier League is. That has embarrassed, and it's knocked the Premier League into a cocked hat.
Vincent Kompany called PSG 5, Bayern Munich 4, a clash of similar ideas. Here's European football expert Julien Laurent.
And yeah, look at what Vincent is doing already. And I know it helps when you've got Olise and Diaz and Kane in this kind of form. I mean, Olise last night again, and we love Nuno Mendes, maybe the best left back in the world. But Olise made him look like an under-19.
Luis Enrique reckons PSG need 3 goals in Munich to win the tie. The second leg will be live on talkSPORT next Wednesday. Arsenal's turn tonight, though. Huge storms are forecast ahead of their game at Atletico Madrid, live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. In the Championship, Kieran McKenna says Ipswich are in great shape to finish second. They came back to draw at informed Southampton. Tonda Eckhart's side are consigned to the playoffs. He spoke to talkSPORT's Ian Abrahams.
Is that something you're happy with?
No, I don't care.
You don't care that it might be a bit of extra pressure?
I'm happy with the pressure. It doesn't make a difference.
And if players confront an opponent while covering their mouths at the World Cup this summer, they will be sent off. FIFA's also bringing in red cards for any player who leaves the field in protest at a referee's decision. There's more at talksport.com.
Good afternoon. It's that time of the week for the Wheel of Football, and here's your hosts, Max Rushden and Charlie Baker.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon to you.
Football. Good afternoon to you, Charlie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Charlie. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Welcome to the Wheel of Football. How are you feeling about the Wheel of Football, Charlie?
Very good about football. Now, so these are my notes that I meant to say in the week and have not say. I think we need music that doesn't make it sound as cheap. I think if you use cheap music, people think the product is cheap.
So
whereas if we had like a cool soundtrack now,
cool soundtrack,
people go, "Hey, this is sort of like,
I see. What
a cool thing this is." This, do you know what I mean? Because it's not a quiz. Mm-hmm. It's more like
I thought it needs some within the categories, just some basic football ones.
Yeah, some actual
facts. We didn't in week 2.
Yeah,
so
good
let's see what we've got. Now, let's bring in our competitors today. Winner stays on. Ben, the West Brom fan, is here. Hey, Ben.
Hello, Ben.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are we both?
Yeah.
Very good.
Week,
you had a very good game. You had a very good week last week. How are you feeling today?
What a difference a week makes. I mean, I've had to sign autographs for my daughter to take into school. I've had a friend request from Jenny Powell, the old Wheel of Fortune presenter.
That's good.
Lined up for many local appearances. It really is a game-changing experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, you're up against a debutant, and who knows how well Martin, the Arsenal fan, plays at this level. But welcome, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Charlie. Hello, Max. I've got Nicky Campbell in my loft.
Okay, well, that sounds sinister.
There's a podcast.
I think we've got 2 good players today.
2 good players today.
Now,
Martin could be an all-timer. We never know. Now, there's no wheel today. We're in a different studio. We're downstairs, which have lights that blind you, and the studio doesn't work. But other than that, there's no wheel. So it's actually
apart from
the Wheel of Football not being a wheel. That's all the categories.
Pocket. It's called
The A4 punch pocket of football. It's actually a better title. That's all.
Let's call it the A4 punch pocket of football. So it's called the wheel of football. We just don't have the wheel. So anyway, let's play. Winner will begin.
Yeah.
For listeners who don't know this game, both Ben and Martin hopefully have 5 footballers. They pick a footballer each, and then we draw out the category, and then we just have a panel discussion as to who is the most likely correct answer from whatever is drawn out of the A4 punch pocket of football. So, Ben, would you like to go first? Give us a footballer, please, Ben.
Yeah, fantastic. I'd like to start with Richard Sneakers, please.
Richard Sneakers, okay.
Richard
could hit a ball.
Sneakers, yeah.
He could really hit a ball. Okay, Martin, the Arsenal fan, who are you going to select?
I'm going to the 1982 World Cup and the great Brazilian who could hit a ball, Adair.
Adair versus Richard Sneakers.
Goodness me. Okay. It's going in the punch pocket.
Let's see what category this
Category
is. Adair
is
versus Richard Sneakers.
Person you wouldn't want to sit next to on a flight.
Person you wouldn't want to sit next to.
So Richard Sneakers.
Well, I think you'd love to sit next to. I think you'd love to sit next to Richard Sneakers on a flight. To be honest with you, because just think of the fun you could have plaiting his hair, so he's good for children and all ages, really.
Yeah.
And I can imagine him to be a great conversationist as well. So having met him a couple of times. So.
Okay. All right. You say he's got a good.
You certainly couldn't plait Adair's hair. So yes, Martin.
Well, he was.
Do you want to hand that to Richard Sneakers, or what do you think?
Oh, there may be. Hello,
Martin.
Hello.
Are you there, Martin? Carry on, Martin.
Hello, Martin. Hello. Caller of the week. What are you saying? How are you going to sell Adair to us, or are you going to just hand it to Richard?
He's a very handsome man, Adair. He was nicknamed the Cannon, so he probably could talk to you about cannons.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he knows. I don't think he knows about cannons, Martin. Does he? Just because his nickname's the Cannon doesn't mean he knows.
But interestingly, I am the ombudsman, and on the list of things I like to talk to people about on flights, cannons is right up there. But I'm giving it Richard Sneakers. 1-0 to Ben the West Brom.
1-0 Sneakers.
5-0 last time.
Let's go.
Martin, give us a footballer, please, Martin.
Well, this footballer always got a laugh in the playground with our Panini stickers, and that's John Bumstead.
John Bumstead.
Okay,
good choice.
John Bumstead. Ben, who are you going to select?
I'm going to up the ante a little bit with Tamori Ketspire.
Okay,
Bumstead v Ketspire.
Tamori Ketspire.
Okay.
Let's see what category comes out of the A4
punch pocket. Ahoy! Here we go. Most likely to give you a lift to the airport. John Bumstead or Ketspire. I'm saying Bumstead all day long, and that's just my thoughts. I'm not here to, sway anybody.
Do you say Bumstead all day long most days?
Wow, come on. We're better than that.
Come on, Martin.
We're better than that,
So that's drives on at 4, Martin, if you want
Sports
that kind
bar
of stuff.
tonight at 10 o'clock. Who's more likely to give you a lift to the airport, Bumstead or Ketspire?
It's got to be Bumstead, hasn't it? But there's just no way. I just think Ketspire's, the thing is, he's just temperamental to Mourinho Ketspire, from what we know, isn't he?
Ben, anything to add, Ben?
Well, he was known for driving the team bus a lot and good for general sing-alongs, Tamori was. So I think that seems to have been really overlooked there by Max and just focusing on his aggression. He was actually quite a gentle soul. So,
we can't check that is the thing.
I have checked
a lot of this.
checked it.
Martin's checked it. He's been in check that. Okay.
I'm still giving it Bumstead. So it's one apiece. It's one apiece.
Let's go.
Okay,
Keep going.
3 footballers to go. Ben, the West Brom fan, pick a footballer, please.
Can I take Taribo West, please?
Taribo West.
Can take Taribo West, of course, yeah. Taribo West. And Martin, who are you going to be picking?
I'll go for my favourite bald-headed footballer, which was David Armstrong.
David Armstrong versus Taribo West. Probably not lined up in competition against each other too often.
Here we go.
Nigerian Taribo West.
Genuinely.
Okay.
I'm going to hold it up to the camera so everyone knows I'm not lying.
Yeah.
Hair.
Best hair.
Best hair.
It's a tricky one for you, Martin, to argue this.
Thing is, Martin, you just described him as bald-headed.
Well, he did have a big, thick head of hair, but he was a big fan of Bobby Charlton, and he used to style it like that.
Okay, like the comb over.
Oh, so he shaved it, and then for the tape, here is a David Armstrong. There he is for the YouTube viewers. It is a win for Taribo West as we go into football. It's 2-1 then. 2-1 to Ben, the West Brom fan. Let's go to Martin. Give us a footballer, please, for player 4. You need this.
I'll go back to the 82 World Cup again, and I'll go for Zico.
Zico, okay. Zico, Ben, the West Brom fan. Who is Zico taking on?
Yeah, I'd like to play Fabian de Freitas, please.
Zico versus Fabian de Freitas. Here we go. Okay.
And it is vibe. Best vibe. Just best general vibe. Zico all day, isn't it?
I mean, it's so hard, this, Ben. Come on, try and, if you could, explain to us why Fabian de Freitas has a better vibe than Zico.
Well, in the late 90s, early 2000s, Fabian was a leader in the dancehall scene, in particular in Boston at that time. He's also known to have released a couple of DJ tracks, so I think he's gone a bit quiet on that front now. Okay. But at that period, he was quite hot. I think I've got a couple of his vinyls, actually. I can... But happy to send them in for someone to gather the gift at some point.
Just for the tape, Ben, de Freitas now lives in Belgium and works in property. So I'm giving it Zico. It's 2 apiece.
2 each going into the final.
Footballer. Aidan the Ipswich fan says, I must have missed something because I've no idea what's going on right now. That said, keep it up. It's exactly the sort of thing I enjoy.
Yeah, lots of people
and Dan
enjoy
says, re-soundtrack. These two hosts will do everything to avoid being connected with cheap, poorly performed theme tunes.
That is true.
Trent should be seen to continue, says Dan. Here we go then. Ben, give us a footballer, please.
Oh, it's a risk, but I'm going to play the friendliest person I know, Linvoy Primus.
Linvoy Primus.
Nicest man in football. Okay. Martin, the Arsenal fan, where are you going?
I'm going for the curly-haired Australian Craig Johnston.
Craig Johnston, that's the Predator versus nicest man in footballer, Linvoy Primus.
Okay, here we go. Punch pocket. It says, person with the best singing voice.
Okay, person with the best singing voice. Now, fortunately, we've got them both on the line now.
Linvoy Primus v Craig Johnston. I mean, I don't know, is the thing.
Wow,
Craig Johnston did, of course, sing on the Anfield Rap, or was on the Anfield Rap. So that's he does have a hit single to his name.
Yeah.
I'll just add that.
He also done a duet with Pavarotti, Ness and Dorma.
Have you ever heard of that one?
Craig Johnson and Pavarotti doing touring.
I remember that.
Okay, that's impressive there, Martin. Ben?
Linvoy.
Linvoy Primus, such a lovely guy as he is. He was actually scheduled to do Sister Act 3, but unfortunately budget cuts pulled it back. So that should be testament enough to Linvoy's singing voice, as well as the work he does charitably with the local gospel choirs as well. So
I'm so torn here.
It feels like a draw.
I'm so torn here,
we're
Charlie.
allowed draws in the Wheel of Football.
What you want a replay between these two?
I think the replay next week was good. It was good. Yeah. Up to you, Max. Though you are the ombudsman. It's nothing to do with me.
The thing is, I want to make the right decision, Charlie. Yeah. And this is why I should never be a member of management, because I can't make a decision.
But Linvoy Primus, we've never heard him on a hit record. He might. Did Portsmouth have an FA Cup single? I don't know.
Do you know what we could do? I reckon we could do by next Wednesday is get both of them to sing a voice note. And then, I reckon our job in the week, if you two will come back, gentlemen, will you both come back next Wednesday?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely,
Ben versus Martin. And in the meantime, it is down to us to get a voice note of Craig Johnson and Linvoy Primus both singing the same song, whatever that song is, and we will compare. Okay, that's some work. That's some work for the production team going, are you serious?
We've got to try and get them on.
Serious?
Yeah.
No, I reckon we can do that. I'll send Mark Bosnich a message right now. Okay, that was the Wheel of... I enjoyed it,
Thank
Charlie.
you, gents. Very, very good indeed. Really good.
Cheers.
No.
Play the theme tune.
Better theme tune we've got to come up with.
Yeah, okay, let's play it again. Charlie, what do you think the we should get them to sing Limboy and Craig.
Whatever they want of their choice, song of their choice.
No. It should be the same. We want the same
song. What's the song? I mean, Happy Birthday is a song that everybody knows.
No. Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight.
I can feel it coming.
Let's both do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week, a voice note from Limboy Primus and Craig Johnson.
If we can get that, then this feature has really taken off.
Okay. Spanish football expert Terry Gibson will join us in just a second. We'll look ahead to Atleti Arsenal, talk a bit about Jose going to Real Madrid.
But surely with players, Martin, conning referees with fake injuries and hence pausing games, there is a culture of distrust that's been sown by the very players.
Yeah, and with the goalies particularly, we saw that in the FA Cup yesterday. You know, it caused a mini riot with Leeds players going berserk when the Chelsea keeper goes down. So I just think they got it right. And I think Glazer's right. I don't want to be just seeing the game stop there because somebody's got an injury. You know, he got up. He tried to get to his feet. We could see that there was an issue, but it was in the same action. I don't think you can stop it for that.
Even if it's a goal, is there a difference here in that it's a goalkeeper?
But what does the rules say? These guys make the rules up as they go along. They've made the rules up as they go along, and they now think that the rules that they've made up are the ones that everyone's got to abide by. The fact is that players have somehow managed to coerce referees into believing that every time someone falls over and hurts themselves, the game's got to be stopped. And there's this unwritten law on the field that's established by the players that if someone gets injured and they determine the game should be stopped, it should be stopped. That's not how it works. The referee referees the game. And there's no rule that says if a goalkeeper gets injured, that subsequently he's subject to a different set of circumstances than somebody else.
No.
The only rule that's, as far as I'm aware, and I'm happy to be corrected, is if it's a head injury.
Usually win a goal.
So the players have made this is what happens when you allow the lunatics to run the asylum. They've made up a set of rules that they think are now the governance of the game, and so they now think that when it doesn't go towards their governance, their version of the governance, that somehow they've been slighted. He didn't have a head injury. If a player gets injured, you don't stop the game because a player gets injured. The only time you stop a game is if a player's had a head injury.
But usually the goalies do this when there's no opportunity for
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you. Energy is like you.
Please don't call me arrogant because what I'm saying is true. I think I'm a special one.
Championship winning season for John Terry and Jose Mourinho.
3 for me and 2 for them. Respect. I deserve the yellow card because I was rude, but I was rude with an idiot.
Jose Mourinho is a European winner again.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. What was the result? 3-0. Do you know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together.
He believes in himself, doesn't
Yeah.
he, Jose? And so Florentino Perez apparently is leading the charge for Jose to become the next Real Madrid manager. €3 million release clause from Benfica, I think. Let's speak to Spanish football expert Terry Gibson. Hey, Terry.
Hello, Terry.
Max, Charlie, very well, thank you.
Oh, good.
What do you make of this?
First of all, I think Florentino Perez needs some more contact numbers in his phone. Get a new file of that because it's Ancelotti, Zidane and Jose Mourinho. Someone gave him Xabi Alonso's details and he made contact with him. But no, joking aside, well, this first broke when they were playing Benfica in the Champions League and it all kicked off. And I thought then, there's no chance that Jose is going to end up as manager of Real Madrid now. I thought he was a long shot then. But now, I think it's nailed on that he's going to be Real Madrid's manager next season. It's going to be throwing fuel on the fire, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and that is a really key point, actually, because over that Prestiani case, afterwards, Jose made some slightly odd comments saying, Benfica can't be racist because Eusebio played for them once. And that can't have gone down very well in the Real Madrid squad, and specifically with Vinicius. But like that is, and who knows if that is something that they would, feels like that would be an issue, wouldn't it?
It would be. I think for Vinicius in particular, he was the one that was the target of the criticism from Jose Mourinho. And I thought he burnt all his bridges that night, the way he reacted after that game with the incident that happened. But it's a funny old football club, Real Madrid. As I say, Florentino Perez, if he's pushing for it, it's going to be his choice. No one else has a say. No one else has they might have opinions, but it's the final say is down to Florentino Perez. And it's been known for common knowledge for quite a while now, the last few weeks, that Florentino Perez that's Jose Mourinho is his man. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. It's a squad that does need a bit of livening up, and Vinicius and Mbappe in particular are the ones that are coming in for the criticism. Perhaps it's time for a change regarding those players.
Do you think you need a bigger ego than that room of players? And that's what he's sort of thinking. Well, I know this man can come in and stand there and say, I've won all these championships and leagues, and you haven't particularly, so he's got the bigger ego in the room.
Yeah, and then he has to be backed by Florentino Perez. And Xabi Alonso wasn't. That was the problem. Xabi Alonso wanted to make changes, and he wasn't allowed to make those changes. He substituted Vinicius on a few occasions, left him out on a few occasions, and was criticised. And it's despite the fact that was the way Xabi Alonso wanted to go, he wasn't allowed to. So I think that it's kind of Jose Mourinho isn't Ancelotti and isn't Zidane, but he does have that respect. He does have that. He is assertive. He's opinionated, and he's not frightened of making big decisions. And that's what Real Madrid need now. But Florentino Perez, there's no point in appointing Jose Mourinho and then having a say in, you can't take Vinicius off and you can't leave him out and you can't rest Mbappe.
Yeah.
You've got to play this player and we want to buy this player and not that player. So it does mean that a certain amount of power has to go to Jose Mourinho to do the job that Real Madrid need him to do. They haven't won a trophy for 2 years now.
But they're in a really difficult position, aren't they? Because they can't get a young up-and-coming coach. They can't really get a coach, right? They can't get someone who coaches football because the squad won't have it. The squad want somebody who just says, the ball is your friend, go and play football. I mean, Jose doesn't really say that. He just sort of plays quite anti-football, Jose, but at least he won't get in the way. Do you see what I mean? It's sort of a weird, totally weird situation where there just aren't that many people who they can get.
Unless Florentino Perez gives the manager the power. So if the manager says, I want to sell this player and I want to sell that player, but that doesn't happen at Real Madrid. So Jose is big enough and brave enough and strong enough and foolish enough to go to war with people if it suits him. And if he has to do that at Real Madrid regarding the players, I think there is an element as well from the players now that, the majority of them seem good lads. They're not a problem. They are very, really good players. And the majority of them, probably all of them, are sick to death now of not winning trophies.
Yeah.
So it's the 2 years on the trot. So they might be looking to lean on to someone that can lead them in the right, what they think is the right way. We've seen Arbeloa doing it. He's not qualified to do the job, and he's just gone along with there's the team, go out and play, and they're quite easy to work out. Everybody plays down the left, no one plays down the right apart from Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a strength of Real Madrid to play down the left because there's loads of good players out there. But if you attack down their left, it's only Trent Alexander-Arnold. So when you're coming up in the big competitions against the best teams, you can't be that one-dimensional. And they need a proper coach. I thought it was going to be Xabi Alonso, and it was irritating me that he wasn't doing things his way. And when he took over half a season, we didn't see any difference from under Ancelotti. It was pretty much off the cuff, away you go, pick the players and let them get on with it. So it'd be a big change for Real Madrid if Jose Mourinho comes in. I anticipate a big change, or will he become just the same as the others?
You mentioned Trent Alexander-Arnold there. A lot of people expecting him to miss out on the World Cup. Has anything changed with the way he's playing and his form to make you change their mind, Terry?
Well, his best game, I thought, was his best game last week against Real Betis. They only drew 1-1, but I thought that was his best game. He was up against a really good winger in Abdel Zuli, and he played him really well. And he still went forward and did some good things as well. They drew, so it meant pretty much that was the end of the title hopes. But it's a little bit controversial that he's playing every game because it's at the expense of Dani Carvajal. And of course, Dani Carvajal is an absolute legend at Real Madrid. And every game that we're working on, at some stage during the game, it will focus on the bench, and you see Dani Carvajal sitting there seething, and it's a regular occurrence now. So Trent Alexander-Arnold under Arbeloa is playing every game. So it's been a mixed bag for him this season because of his injuries, but he hasn't been desperately bad when he's got criticism. I think that's been too much. But I just see signs now of him coming into form. So probably too late, I think, to jump into the England squad for the World Cup. But he's doing a fine job for Real Madrid now.
Good stuff, Terry. Thanks for coming on,
Thank you, Terry.
Pleasure, anytime. Thank you.
It'll be fascinating if Jose gets that job at Real Madrid. Steve's been in touch, Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Steve.
So I just came out. It really made me laugh. Just came out of the gym, turned my radio on. First thing I heard was, who's the better taxi driver? John Bumstead or Tamuri Ketchfire?
Yeah.
Did you sweep up at the SGA Awards on Monday?
It's a different show.
Some people can't recognise. People can't recognise great quality when it hits them in the face like that. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, Terry Gibson. This is Rushden and Baker on talkSPORT in partnership with Toolstation. Get your home spring ready with great deals on top paint brands like Dulux, Crown and Leyland. Next stop, Toolstation. We're here till 4. And JJ Bull, comedian, musician, Scotland fan, will join us in just a second to talk about his unofficial Scotland song for the World Cup.
Unai Emery to Real Madrid.
Oh dear, my drink.
He's an experienced Spaniard whose heart is open to a move back home. He's enjoyed his time in the Midlands. His current partner is begging him to stay. But sometimes you just can't say no to something bigger and better. So will he ditch his babe in boring Birmingham for a magnificent madam in Madrid? Unai Emery to Real Madrid.
I don't think he'd want to go to Real Madrid.
Are you swiping left or swiping right?
Swiping left.
Hold on a minute. Did you just say?
Do you know what?
He wouldn't want to go to Real Madrid? Well, no.
No, you don't get to explain.
Did you just say he wouldn't want to go to Real Madrid? And the reason for that would be?
Because at Aston Villa, he runs the show. It's his club. Real Madrid is chaos. Look how the players treated Xabi Alonso.
It's Real Madrid.
Vinny Jr. walked off the pitch and went down the tunnel. And when he got taken off, it's not work for Arbeloa. It's a bit of a toxic job at the moment.
It's the biggest club in the world, one of them, certainly.
After Rangers.
After Glasgow Rangers, yes.
I don't think it works. I feel like what he's got going on at Aston Villa, he runs the club, he decides every decision. To go to Real Madrid and what? You could be there for 6 months and get the sack.
Is this because you want this to happen? You don't want this move to happen?
I don't see it. That's why I'm swiping left, because I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
I love him.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Good afternoon. You are listening to Max Rushden.
I was thinking this isn't. I was thinking.
Yeah, me too. This has really thrown me, Charlie. What's this JJ Bull Scotland song? I don't think it is.
You've just done a Neil Diamond impression.
Just to update you before we introduce JJ and play his song for the unofficial Scotland World Cup song, I have WhatsApped Linvoy Primus and asked him to sing one line of In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins, and I've messaged Mark Bosnich to ask Craig Johnston if he'll do the same thing.
Any reply?
And then we'll know who. No replies as yet, but you know it's only like 20 minutes ago, so I'll see how. I haven't messaged Linvoy Primus for 7 years, so it has come out of nowhere. For
I like your choice of song, Max. But Mick in Hounslow has said, "Good afternoon. The song for Craig Johnston and Linvoy Primus to sing should be Chuckademus and Pliers Tease Me, which would be nice."
Okay. Anyway, look, JJ Bull is listening to this, and like I like the fact, JJ, you're not saying anything because you've yet to be introduced properly. And that's
I have to do that. It's the rules.
Yeah, yeah, it is the rules. So thank you. But let's first. You have got a song.
Yes,
the unofficial Scotland.
People
World
will have
Cup
seen this
brilliant.
online. They will have seen it on Insta and all sorts.
It's brilliant. Let's listen to it.
Thank you.
Park kinda sucks, but I will go there anyway. I I think you might lose, but I will go there anyway. Because I wanna see you get clapped from 15 yards. I think he might score. Kieran Tierney from 10 yards. Oh no, he's gonna score. The score's coming away. With a I know he's gonna score. He's Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay, Ballon d'Or.
It's so good. It's legitimate. It's a legitimate banger, not a football song. Just got new order vibes. It's brilliant.
Yes. JJ.
Do you agree,
You have to
JJ?
accept this. You have to accept this.
It's your work.
You have
Well,
to
I
accept
agree.
this compliment.
I think whoever made that is a genius. Yes, absolutely. Sounds like nothing I've ever heard before. Except, well, it does sound like quite a few other things I've heard before, but in a good way, you know.
Yeah. But
it's hard to make a football song good. Like loads of people have tried to make a football song good. It's not simple.
Max, for some people, yes, that's true. But well, it's funny because I think about this quite a lot, you know, because I made I support Aberdeen and I made a song for them in the cup final about 2013-14. And we won that, and that was great fun. But I was just like, just channeling the other, you know, the classics.
Yeah.
Well, the best ones ever, I always think of like 3 Lines is the best one I've heard. You know, I know you have like World in Motion and all those, and then they've got a certain sound to them. But I love all the songs from the 80s that do the World Cup ones that captured a certain moment about it. But now I think people. I'm not saying anyone does this, but I think they also do think that those songs belong in that era. Therefore, the songs have to sound like that.
Oh, okay.
But they don't. They can be anything you want.
They can be anything you like.
Yeah.
I like the one that goes on this time, more than any other time. This time, do you remember that one? We're gonna find a way to get away
Who's that?
this time. Getting it all together, we'll get it right. Boom.
82?
It's England,
82 maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know that
82
one.
England.
I remember.
Well, Dan says the only improvement would be a mention of Super John McGinn, and that you have a Super John McGinn song as well.
Don't I just? Yeah, it's that one's a bit less clear what that one's about. It's called John McGinn. I think has the power of the dinosaurs, something like that. That one also. I've been sent that multiple videos of people DJs playing that in clubs in Glasgow specifically when after we've won games, and people seem to like that one. Yeah. That doesn't sound anything like a traditional football song either, I guess, because it's.
Have you heard it in a stadium yet? Have you been anywhere to any games and heard it over a tannoy or?
I did hear. I've got a song called, you know, Willie Miller. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
So one of Aberdeen's greatest, one of Scotland's greatest. I've got a song called Willie Miller is God, and they played that at Pittodrie, which is Aberdeen Stadium, and that was for me. You know, you support a team. That's pretty good.
Willie Miller was when you had the Panini stickers when I was growing up. They do the teams.
Yeah, you got
Scotland
2 for 1
teams,
in Scotland.
They were small in the back of it. And Willie Miller, I had loads of Willie Millers. Absolutely, big moustache.
You can never have too many Willie Millers.
Yeah, but it's so. How did you start writing? Did you start as a musician or start as a comedian? What happened?
I don't know. I think all at once. So I like all of them at once. You know, I was always playing music when I was younger, but I also like everything being silly. I can't be very serious. You know, that's coming across or not. And I think. It's all in there somewhere, and I think this is quite pretentious, but I've said it a few other places as well. I think the most honest version of my songwriting is when things aren't serious, they're a bit funny. Like I'm surrounded by football constantly because I love it, so that's in there as well. Because I've gone through stages in my career, inverted brackets for anyone who can't see what I'm doing, where like in everyone's 20s they go through like singer-songwriter feelings. Yeah.
Max is good at that. He's good at those feelings.
Well, you can all do it. It's a G and a D and a C, and we can all do it. Yeah. It's fine. Any order. Capo on the 4th fret. Fine. Sounds good. Yeah.
No, I know exactly. I weirdly got a record deal, right? And
did you? That's good.
It was just such a weird. Amy MacDonald, Scottish singer Amy MacDonald, came on Soccer AM. And she's great. And I used to do these jokes about playing the clarinet because the producer hated it because he was like, Northerners all think you're soft if you talk about playing the clarinet. I was like, come on, surely we've moved beyond that, haven't we? And I didn't really ever play it, but I I said, look, she said, come and do it on the next single because your album's great. It's gone. And then she went, okay. And I went and played clarinet on our single. I played the Hammersmith Apollo, like 5,000 people. It's mad. But as I was putting my clarinet away, the guy went, oh, you can sing a bit. And I can't. And he went, oh, why don't you write a football song? I'm like, no. But then I did write lots of GDA songs, like about unrequited love, and they're awful. And if they ever heard them, I would just get panned more than, Nick Knowles or Damian Lewis or people who aren't singers actually get. But it is interesting that you go through that phase. If you're you're a proper songwriter, not like me, going, well, look, they've got all these 3 chords. So to get from that to writing this stuff, which is like just great.
Yeah. Oh, it's really nice. Do you know, I played in a wedding band for years and years, and when you play all those songs all the time, you realise all the classics are just like 3 chords, 4 chords. Yeah. And so, like, that's what everyone writes anyway. But then you start playing these great hits, you're like, oh, this is dead easy. The things that are really important are like the actual meaning of it.
Yeah.
And like, it has to have a certain energy about it. And then you just play it well. That's kind of it.
3 chords and the truth. What's the dream with this track?
The dream?
That you hear it on in the Scotland dressing room as they get through to the quarterfinals.
I think the dream would be that it makes me $10 million.
Yeah, well, no. How do you do that? How do you do that?
You could dynamically
these days?
price it like the tickets for Scotland's World Cup games.
Yeah, per listen on streaming services. It goes up depending how popular it is. I just like doing it because it's really fun. I've got loads of gigs that I play all around the country and stuff, and they're really good. So I just want people to enjoy it. The dream, genuinely, without trying to be all like twee, is that I just want people to enjoy that. I like that. I would love to see videos of folks bounce into it, especially in North America, when they're playing the games. That'd be fun. During the World Cup halftime show, just dunting Coldplay off of the time.
I think you're going to see this. I think this is going to happen. By the way, if you want to be pretentious and twee, you are on the right show.
Oh, I can do that well.
Don't worry about that. That is more or less what we're called. Hi, we're pretentious and twee.
And you've done quite a lot of, I was just going on like a sort of going down a rabbit hole of your stuff, and it's like you've done like big, like you just sort of YouTube, Twitch, I'm just going to invent songs about footballers for like long shows type stuff.
Yeah, so I've not done them as much recently because I've had so much on. I'm trying not to burn out. It's very easy to do that. And I do like 1.5 to 2 hour long live streams just in my living room where I make up every single song on the spot. Wow. Some of them are amazing. Some of them are even better. And so you just see what comes out. And then I've done some of the gigs when I play live in front of an audience. I do that quite a lot. I've done a few gigs where every single song's been up in front of them, but I play all the again inverted commas hits at the live shows that we do, and then make up one if I've got a time. It's quite funny. I did one in Aberdeen about Marko Lazetic. Many people probably wouldn't know who that is. An ex-AC Milan striker playing at Aberdeen. This is not that good, but then he scored some goal. It was amazing, and so I made some song up, and the crowd were singing the chorus to it.
What rhymes with Lazetic?
I can't remember. Right. I think it was just his name. I'm in a ditch.
Oh, well, look, we love the song, so we will play it relentlessly.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's what I need.
Should be our new whenever we talk about the World Cup, Max, we should play that song now, I think.
Yeah, we should. Let's play out with it. Why not, JJ? Thanks so much for coming in.
Oh, thanks for having me.
JJ Bull there, and here's the song again, and it is great.
I'm playing the whole thing again.
Hamden Park sucks. But I will go there anyway. I think you might lose, but I will go there anyway. Because I was from 3 yards. I think that.
you know, Xavi Simons, it's not Molyneux. You can't blame Spurs' pitch for that. But I have to say, mate, we've got to have a look at this medical team. I think they changed it last year.
But it's a medical team. But so there's two parts to it. You and I both know, right? Strength and conditioning and training. But there has to be joined up thing. The medical team only deal with injured players. It's not their fault they're injured. The medical team try and get them out. Where the medical team need to be looked at is the length in time that these players are out for. Some of these players, what's happened to Kulusevski? Is he still even with us? I mean, he has just completely disappeared. I know Maddison's been on the bench recently.
Yeah, but he's not fit. He can't play.
But you need these players back. That's where the medical team come into it. But in terms of picking up injuries, you can't blame the medical team for picking up injuries. That comes down to training.
Isn't there injury prevention? I don't know. I mean, like hamstrings and things like that. You can look at
soft tissue,
tissues and things like. I mean, ACL. I mean, what? You can't blame the medical team for that. What I can blame the medical team for is the fact that they put ice spray on his knee when he's off. And everyone in the ground could see that he was in a bad way, Xavi Simons. He was in a bad way. And they got him up. I think they made him do a couple of jumps to see if he was all right. They put ice spray on his knee. He's ruptured his ACL. I mean, how many times have we had this argument, Chase, me and you, about to get him on a stretcher, players on a stretcher? You see him walk off. Next day you say, yeah, he's done his meniscus or he's done his ACL or he's out for 6 months. And then walking off a football pitch. The amount of times we say this.
I don't get it.
If they are injured, if they have got a knee injury and they are...
And they sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall!
Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now.
You've landed loose today, haven't you?
Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Some huge news regarding the Craig Johnson Linvoy Primer sing-off, which will bring you shortly.
There's also a Bumstead update as well, Max.
There's a really good John Bumstead update. You want to read it?
Dan in Lancashire, hello Dan, had this vague recollection that John Bumstead became a London taxi driver. So I just Googled it, and I was right. He passed the knowledge in 2003. Dan in Lancashire. So we got that right.
We did get that right, unless, of course, Timuri Ketsbayer got the knowledge more recently.
Yeah, this is from for people who weren't listening, this is from the Wheel of Football, which we played. What time did we play it, Max? And one of the questions that came up was who would be best person to take you to the airport, Timuri Ketsbayer or John Bumstead? And we discussed it, as you do in the Wheel of Football.
We agreed it
was Bumstead, and now there is actual fact towards it. But the final question was, who's the better singer, Linvoy Primus or Craig Johnston?
Mm-hmm. And we were in everyone just keep your powder dry, but there's some news coming regarding that. Anyway, six-way showdown for promotion and despair this Saturday. As talkSPORT has you covered, Championship season culminates in a three-way race for the final automatic promotion spot, scramble for the last remaining playoff spot. Catch every pivotal moment, exclusive talkSPORT commentary of Ipswich QPR at midday. We'll keep you posted on Wrexham Middlesbrough as well. That's on talkSPORT 2, and updates from Millwall, Hull, Derby, and of course Crewe, because a win for Cambridge takes them into League One. Here is talkSPORT's Ollie Klink with the permutations out of the weekend.
Confused about the EFL picture? Who could go up and who could go down? Well, on talkSPORT, we've got you covered.
We just love the EFL on talkSPORT. That's how it'll always be.
After last night's draw between Ipswich and Southampton, it's game on in the promotion race.
Comes out to the edge of the area. Clark, 2-2. Fantastic hit from Jack Clark. And Ipswich are going to grab a point here. And again, Southampton's destiny may have disappeared in terms of automatic promotion.
Ipswich, Millwall, Middlesbrough can all grab second place on the final day of the season this Saturday.
Bannon's still going, finds Coburn at the edge of the penalty area. He's already scored once for Millwall against his former side. He's scored twice. Callum Britton, good save. Rebound is in. Tommy Conway. There's the goal for Middlesbrough.
Ipswich host QPR, Millwall play Oxford, while Middlesbrough travel to Wrexham, who themselves can clinch the final playoff spot with a win. Meanwhile, Hull needs a better Wrexham's result against Norwich.
Let's talk to AFL expert from Arsenal midfielder Adrian Clarkey. Hey, Clarkey.
Hello, guys. You all right?
Yeah, very good.
I think I called you Adrian Clarkey, but I think that's probably acceptable these
It's
days.
fine.
Clarkey. Do you know what? It's a bit of a shame for the neutral that Ipswich equalised late on, because then we would have had this four-way, incredibly tight competition for who goes up. It is now in Ipswich's hands, and home to QPR. Okay, you never know, right? Everyone thought City would smash QPR at home in the Aguero years, and it was tricky. Like, you never know, but like that goal for Jack Clark is huge for Ipswich.
Yeah, it was. Although because of their goal difference, I think they only really needed one more win, whether it was last night or whether it was at the weekend, and they got QPR. Look, first and foremost, it was a great game. I thought Ipswich were miles better than they have been for most of this season. They sort of clicked when it mattered most. I think they had 9 shots on target. It was pretty exciting, actually. And credit Southampton, just days after that sort of Wembley heartache, they sort of, they showed good powers of recovery, I think, to put on a good show themselves. So yeah, look, it's in Ipswich's hands. From the neutral point of view, I kind of wish they had a tougher game, because Queen's Park Rangers kind of on the beach at the moment. They've lost their last 3. You wonder how badly they'll want it. But as we saw last night, there was a game last night in League One. Stockport needed a point against relegated Port Vale, and they got beat. So anything can happen.
Do you think Ipswich are the right team? Because I remember lots of people have said actually Middlesbrough are the second best team in the Championship. But I mean, is it just at the end of the season, whoever's there deserves it? Or who do you think are the most deserving, if that's a fair question?
Yeah, it's a harsh one. Look, Ipswich have the best squad in the division. No doubt about that. They've got a fantastic squad. They're able to rotate 5-6 players, and they don't weaken the team. No one else can do that in the entire division, including Coventry. Millwall are a proper team. Yeah, they do the basics very, very well. Supremely well drilled, and they deserve to be where they are. They're really hard to sort of beat and defensively.
They've got relegated Oxford, haven't they? So on Saturday. So if Ipswich slip up, they'd probably be there to pounce.
Yeah, exactly. And wouldn't that be a story? I'd love to see Millwall in the Premier League. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember them being in the top flight, but it was before the Premier League era started. And I think Cass was playing, wasn't he, for Millwall with Sheringham and people like that, Kevin Horlock. I mean, you go, or Terry Hurlock. You're going back a long, long time now. But
sorry, Clarkey, good quiz there. Was it Kevin Horlock or Terry Hurlock?
It was definitely Terry.
Horlock or Hurlock?
Back pocket. Horlock.
I'm talking to the wrong host here. I mean,
what a quiz that is, though.
Yeah. Middlesbrough played the best football. Okay, Middlesbrough have been a joy to watch. When they're hot, they are brilliant. And Kim Hellberg has been an inspired appointment, and they kind of occupied second spot the longest. So in some ways, I feel that they might be the second best team in the division, but they've had a bad patch at the wrong time. They lost their 2 best players, Hayden Hackney and Morgan Whittaker, together at the same time. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Whittaker's been back the last 2 games. Middlesbrough have won those games. So, yeah, they go to Wrexham. And that's a real toughie for Wrexham, who kind of need something themselves on the final day. So, yeah, Borough will be super motivated. But if news filters through that Ipswich are winning 4-0, things might get easier for Wrexham. I don't know.
Yeah, and then it is Wrexham, Hull or Derby. And what's the goal difference? Is so tight between Hull and Wrexham, isn't it? They're both on 70
One
points.
in it. Yeah.
One goal in it.
One goal.
You know,
yeah.
you've got to
so
win and win
Wrexham
big,
win 1-0, Derby win 2, then they finish level. Then it'll come to sort of goals scored, and there's only one in it on goals scored as well. If everything's level and it goes to the head-to-head, Hull would go above Wrexham.
Yeah.
So
if they want to stop being called Hollywood FC, right, they need to stop having Hollywood endings to seasons. They need to stop doing that.
Yeah, they're always involved in some kind of drama. I mean, it's been just ridiculous, hasn't it? The back-to-back promotions, and this one isn't over yet. Don't write off Derby, by the way. So Wrexham have got a real hard game against Borough. Okay, could easily drop points. Hull have got Norwich. And over the last 10, 12 games, 10, 12 games, Norwich have been sort of second best behind Cov. And Derby are at home to Sheffield United. And Sheffield United's away record is just shockingly bad. I don't think they've beaten anyone in the top half away from home this season. So if Derby win and the others draw or lose, it's on for Derby.
And then bottom of the Championship is sorted. Top of League One is sorted.
I wonder where we go. I wonder where we're going here, Adrian.
No. I'm going to do them all. There's still a playoff spot, isn't there, for Luton or Stevenage or perhaps Plymouth. And then you've got Orient or Exeter. One of those is going down.
Yeah, Exeter.
Okay. And then it's the top of League Two.
He's decided.
Tell me,
Clarkey.
Tell me, Clarkey, that Crewe are hopeless.
Well, they have nothing to play for, okay? Yes. And but they aren't hopeless. They're a dangerous team that can score goals. And as you will well know, Cambridge, away from home against decent teams, not so hot this season. I think just one away win against teams in the top 10. So it's not a gimme.
He's done the opposite of what you wanted there, Max.
It's not a gimme, Max.
He's given you no hope.
Do you know what? We were 1-0 up to Swindon. We should have been 10-0 up, and we let him go in the last minute. We were 1-0 up at Cheltenham. We let one in the last minute. We had a couple of great chances at Bromley. We could have done it by now. And Salford are on a bit of form, and Notts County aren't out of it. So I'm stressed, Clarkey.
It'll feel good though, won't it, to do it on the last day? If you go there and win, the away fans are going to absolutely love it. It'll taste better than if you did it 3 games ago, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I dream for. Thank you, Clarkey. Good man.
Thanks, Clarkey.
All right, see you later.
Got a bit of breaking news. Ben Jacobs joins on the line. I don't know what this breaking news is, Ben. So,
hello, Ben.
Inform me and the audience.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is a talkSPORT exclusive. I can tell you we've got a massive update on Mykhailo Mudryk. He has been handed a 4-year doping ban by the Football Association. It happened earlier this year. That is the maximum, the same number originally that Paul Pogba got, by the way. And Mudryk has gone to the Court of Arbitration for Sport. I can read you a statement from the Court of Arbitration to Sport from the sources that have sent on-record confirmation to talkSPORT saying CAS confirms it's received an appeal by Mykhailo Mudryk against the Football Association, filed on the 25th of February 2026. The parties are currently exchanging written submissions and a hearing is yet to be sanctioned. Sources have subsequently told us at talkSPORT that the ban is 4 years, and Mykhailo Mudryk is hoping, using the same lawyers actually as Paul Pogba, to either get vindicated via the Court of Arbitration for Sport or, at least in a worst case scenario, have that ban reduced. Now, if, like Pogba, the ban was moved from 4 years to 18 months or 2 years, then because the provisional suspension that Mudryk has served counts towards that, he could, in theory, if successful, find himself back in action ahead of next season. But if he serves the full 4-year ban because CAS uphold the FA decision, then obviously his Chelsea future and maybe even his future in football becomes severely in doubt.
Yeah, and Ben, just remind us, if you know, of course, exactly what he's guilty of taking.
Yeah, it's a performance-enhancing drug that effectively is seen to usually help your recovery. That's the sort of essence of it all. And it's the same performance-enhancing drug, actually, that was taken by Maria Sharapova. And there's debate as to what the actual benefit is, but generally speaking, it would be viewed as aiding recovery and kind of strengthening the stamina. And there's different reports and suggestions as to whether there is even any benefit to an athlete. But Mudryk denies taking anything, at least knowingly. The challenge with this is that athletes have strict liability for anything put in their body, which means whether it's an accident, whether it's potential, if we're talking more broadly, sabotage, if an athlete has ingested something illegal, they're strictly liable, which means that even if it is concluded that Mudryk didn't intentionally do anything wrong, he still carries the consequences for what was found in both his A and B sample. And that's why generally with all of these cases, regardless of the complexities and the specifics, a 4-year ban tends to be given. And then you have to mitigate backwards from there to try and reduce the severity. Mudryk has been unsuccessful in doing that with the FA. So now he is going to the Court of Arbitration for Sport.
Thank you, Ben. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Ben.
Cheers, guys.
Ben Jacobs there, our reporter with that exclusive on Mykhailo Mudryk. More of that in the sports headlines.
That's quite a sad story, Max. I know footballers are, they're young men, young people. He might, I don't know if he's done it or not, and I'm sure what he's going to do is go and prove it. But you sort of think that man's career was at the height, and then he's made a decision, or someone's made a decision for him, and then so that's sad. I hope he's okay. Is what I think.
I agree with that. And at the same time,
but
no, I don't think it is. I think you can have sympathy for someone who has made a mistake or has been unfortunate, right? And at the same time, understand that you've got to have rules that say you can't take performance-enhancing drugs. It is Max and Charlie with you until 4, and we'll do Paddy's Challenge. Perry Groves joins us ahead of the Arsenal game as well.
We'll keep our eye on Newcastle. Members of PIF travel into Newcastle this week for their annual meeting with the club's departmental heads. How high on the agenda do you think Eddie Howe's name is going to be, Alex?
I think it has to be pretty high because it's been a disappointing season. There's no two ways about that. They're a lot lower down the Premier League table than he would have expected at the start of the campaign. Looks like they're not going to get European football at all next season, which might help them in the long run because I think they found it a struggle balancing Champions League and domestic ambitions. But if I was Eddie Howe, I'd have some questions for the owners. There's players who want out of that football club. Anthony Gordon being one. Sandro Tonali, I don't think it was a coincidence that his agent was leaking stories that Arsenal were interested in January. Tino Livramento, I'm told, has no intention of signing a new contract. But they've got to handle this summer a lot better than they did last. The Alexander Isak saga was allowed to drift on for far too long. If they were going to sell him all along, as I understand was the case, they should have done it much earlier in the window. They would have been in a better position to get top targets, because if Newcastle fans think that Nick Voltemada and Johan Wissa were anywhere near the top of Newcastle's list of potential options at the start of the summer, they're deluded. I think the recruitment was poor. I think the handling of the Isak situation was poor. And I would say be careful what you wish for, because this is a manager who's come in, he inherited a club who were battling against relegation. He's took them into the Champions League not once but twice. He's ended that long wait for domestic silverware. And I don't think he's necessarily getting the credit he deserves because they've had a bad season.
It's hard to disagree with anything Alex has said there, isn't it?
I think that's right. But I also think there is a point where someone's voices become less effective than they once were before.
After the world was treated to the mother of all first leg thrillers last night, talkSPORT's Jason Cundy doesn't think any Arsenal player gets into either Bayern or PSG's team.
The levels of quality in that game was nothing short of extraordinary. And it just goes to, in my opinion, it just goes to show how dull the Premier League is. That has embarrassed, and it's knocked the Premier League into a cocked hat.
Vincent Kompany called PSG 5, Bayern Munich 4, a clash of similar ideas. Here's European football expert Julien Laurent.
And yeah, look at what Vincent is doing already. I know it helps when you've got Olise and Diaz and Kane in those kind of form. I mean, Olise last night again, and we love Nuno Mendes, maybe the best left back in the world. But Olise made him look like an under-19.
Luis Enrique reckons PSG need 3 goals in Munich to win the tie. The second leg will be live on talkSPORT next Wednesday. Arsenal's turn tonight, though. Huge storms are forecast ahead of their game at Atletico Madrid, live on talkSPORT from 7 p.m. In the Championship, Kieran McKenna says Ipswich are in great shape to finish second. They came back to draw at informed Southampton. Tonda Eckhart's side are consigned to the playoffs. He spoke to talkSPORT's Ian Abrahams.
Is that something you're happy with?
I don't care.
You don't care that it might be a bit of extra pressure?
I'm happy with the pressure. It doesn't make a difference.
And if players confront an opponent while covering their mouths at the World Cup this summer, they will be sent off. FIFA's also bringing in red cards for any player who leaves the field in protest at a referee's decision. There's more at talksport.com.
Hi, it's Max Rush and Charlie Baker with you till 4 on talkSPORT. Now, we didn't begin the show expecting to try and find out who was the better singer out of Linvoy Primus and Craig Johnson. But obviously I messaged Linvoy and I messaged Craig Johnson via Mark Bosnich.
Yeah.
That's late in Australia, so Craig Johnson may not have got the message. But I sent a message to Linvoy Primus saying, Linvoy, nicest man in football, Max Rushden here. That's Linvoy, it's not me. Yeah. Could you possibly sing one line from Phil Collins' In the Air tonight in your best singing voice for me? Appreciate this is an odd request. He writes, can you give me a line to sing? He says, I was listening to you just now and heard the request. Anything for you, Max.
And that's
so
nice.
He sings the line. We'll get to it. I say, that's so good. But could you just say, hi, this is Linvoy Primus at the start. Hi, this is Linvoy Primus.
Yeah.
And I'm singing Phil Collins.
For proof.
But I think he kind of understood it as, can I be sure this is Linvoy Primus? But I messaged him, but he's, he's such a nice man.
It's always like, can you hold up a newspaper with today's date on?
Exactly. Anyway, the first thing Linvoy sent me was some news about John Bumstead, and it's this.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing is, John Bumstead was my teammate at Charlton, and I remember we went on tour, and somebody was probably being a little bit threatening to me, and John Bumstead became my bouncer for the evening. So that might be a nice little link as well.
That is a nice little
link.
That's
good. So it's a nice link. He's brought
just
two parts of the quiz together.
People who are just joining us, we play on Wednesdays now. We play Wheel of Football. Might be called something else. To be discussed. But anyway,
the
Wheel of Football. And today, it's a couple of names that came out today were Linvoy Primus and John Bumstead.
John Bumstead. Any footballer could come out.
Yeah, and it's random. It's randomly picked by listeners.
So then Linvoy sent me a message just to prove it was Linvoy, giving some shared knowledge that both him and I have. And it's this.
To confirm, you played at Fratton Park and Havant Football Club for a charity game, Soccer AM versus a Pompey 11. And, so that's to confirm it's me, because I'm not too sure I'll be able to say it again, Linvoy Primus, this is it, because I don't think I'm going to have enough signal. All right, take care. Bye.
Okay, then that, and he'd had enough of you by then, Max.
He's had enough of you.
He said that's too much now.
So, but anyway, then he sent another message just explaining what he'd just done. Is this?
Okay.
That was my 2-code verification to make sure that you know it's me.
There we are, 2-code verification.
Right, I am sure it's Linvoy Primus.
We are sure it's Linvoy Primus, and this is In the Air Tonight, Phil Collins, as sung by Linvoy Primus.
Woman for all my life, oh Lord.
Pretty good.
Wow, I tell you what.
Craig Johnson has a week.
You've
got a week, Craig.
A week.
Thank you, Linvoy. Anyway, type for time.
Can we just hear him? Oh, we type for time. We can't hear him sing it again. Maybe we'll play it later. Yeah, great.
Paddy's Challenge on talkSPORT with Hawksby and Jacobs. What critics are calling one of the many radio quiz segments happening this week. Paddy Power. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
We all know how it works. 3 questions, multiple choice about sport. Alistair McGowan pre-recorded the questions recently and his answers a long time ago. And we're raising money for charity, Sporting Memories Network or the Rowcroft Hospice. No Fletch, so here's Max Scott to host it all.
Hello, Max. Good afternoon, fellas. Just a reminder, last time we played it was a draw. You both had selections to make. Max, you went with Javi Simmons to register an assist in Spurs Premier League match with Wolves. Of course, it wasn't to be on the day he suffered an unfortunate ACL injury. Charlie, you went with City to beat Burnley. Haaland scored the early goal, so you won. £11.67 added to the Rowcroft.
Better than naught. Better than naught.
Not quite. Let's see if we can raise a little bit more cash for your charities this week. I've decided that Max is going to go first.
Okay.
So let's go straight into the first question.
Bit of Max bias there. Bit of Max bias.
It is, it's up against Max.
Great name.
Max's.
Kenya's Sebastian Sawe won the London Marathon last weekend and achieved the incredible feat of doing so in how many seconds under 2 hours? A, 1 second, B, 10 seconds, or C, 30 seconds?
10.
Ooh. It was 30. You can't
Was it
find the
30?
sound effect. It was 30.
Was it 30? There's no sound effect, so
but it was.
do you want me to do it?
Ooh.
Oh!
That was good, Max.
Oh, that's really good, Max.
It wasn't 10 seconds, unfortunately.
30
Max.
seconds.
It was 30 seconds. His incredible run.
Someone else ran under 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
And was second. What a nightmare.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
There we go.
Oh,
Well, I
dear,
thought
oh,
mine
dear.
was better,
Thanks,
to be honest. Wiped 35 seconds off the previous record set at the 2023 Chicago Marathon by the late, great Kelvin Kipton.
Should have known that. I broke the news on Sunday.
Oh, yeah,
on
okay.
the radio station.
Wow. What have you been doing on
Good luck, Charlie.
At last weekend's London Marathon, Simon Fannon aimed to break the Guinness World Record for doing what activity whilst running the 26.2-mile course?
Fridge on his back.
A, knitting a scarf. B, juggling batons. Or C, completing crossword puzzles.
Oh, thought it was fridge on his back. Juggling batons.
Oof. Oh. Yeah, no, it's not. He was actually knitting a scarf. Fannon, a builder and former Royal Marines commando, needed to knit a scarf longer than 3.7 metres. He was one of 73 runners going for a new Guinness World Record.
With knitting needles, that sounds dangerous. Running with knitting needles.
He was a Royal Marine commando, so I
still got a knitting needle in the eye.
This is true.
In fact, if I was to take on
We don't have time for this,
If I was to
Charlie.
take on a Royal Marine commando, my first thing would be knitting needle in the eye, and I think I'd win.
Okay, second
That's how
question.
you win war these days. Modern day warfare with Charlie Baker. Yeah. So who needs the rest is history. Carry on, please,
Right,
Max.
come on, Max. Let's move on. Oh,
In the WSL last weekend, Chelsea's Sam Kerr scored twice against Everton to match whose club scoring record? A, Beth England. B, Fran Kirby. Or C, Guro Wrighton.
B.
1 point to Max.
Correct. Yeah, Sam Kerr matched Kirby's 63 goals for Chelsea and looks set to become the club's all-time top scorer soon. It's 1-0 to Max Rushden. Second question for Charlie Baker, please.
Arsenal beat Lyon 2-1 in the first leg of the Women's Champions League semi-final to edge towards a second successive final appearance. Who scored the first goal for the Gunners? A, Ingrid Engen. B, Alessia Russo. Or C, Maria Caldente.
I'm going to say B, Alessia Russo.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, no idea.
Sorry, Charlie. An error from Lyon's keeper led to Ingrid Engen's own goal before another late mix-up led to Olivia Smith scoring into an empty net to give the Gunners a precious lead to take France for the second leg.
Shame for me.
All right, here we go.
Chelsea captain Enzo Fernandez's goal against Leeds last weekend was enough to win the FA Cup semi-final. How many times have Chelsea won the FA Cup? A, 8, B, 12, or C, 14?
8.
2 out of 3. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Unassailable lead, Max. Well done. 8 wins and 8 times runners-up. Of course, they play City, who've won 7 times and been 7 times runners-up. Do we have time for a final question for Charlie Baker?
We got time for it? Okay, let's go, yeah.
In MotoGP's Spanish Grand Prix last weekend, Alex Marquez broke whose winning streak to claim the win? A, Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi.
Why would I know this?
B, BK8 Gresini Racing's Marc Marquez. Or C, Aprilia Racing's Fabio Di Gianantonio.
I mean, who do they think I am?
I've got no clue.
C.
Oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, it was actually A, Aprilia Racing's Marco Bezzecchi.
Of course.
He'd won the 5 previous races. So that means, unfortunately for you, Charlie, you've had a bit of a stinker.
Yeah,
but 2-0 to Max. Congratulations, Max. You are the winner. You've got a £20 free bet, mate.
Oh, right. Good stuff.
That Paddy Power's going to place. What are you going to go for your charity of choice?
I'm not going to do anything that matters to me in my heart. So I will go Ipswich to beat QPR.
Ipswich to beat QPR it is. What a belting day that'd be for the Tractor Boys. Automatic promotion back to the Championship. We will see. We'll be covering it across the TalkSPORT network and on TalkSPORT too. That's been this week's challenge in the book, hasn't it, Max? I just read your line because my name's also Max.
You can read it, Max.
It would be an honour.
No, Max, off you go, Max. You do it.
That was this week's challenge in the book. Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power, 18+, begambleaware.org.
Paddy's Challenge on TalkSPORT with Paddy Power. 18+, begambleaware.org.
I'm very excited that Linvoy Primus has sung for us. This is from RJV. And so I can't verify this, if it's true or not, I don't know. But watching the snooker, John Higgins complained about a noise from the audience. The ref told him the sound came from a person's breathing device, to which Higgins asked, could they turn it off?
That can't be true. That can't be true. Can it? Oh, gosh.
Too much. Okay, I really want to watch the snooker, but, Anyway, that really made me laugh. It is Max and Charlie with you. Perry Groves will join us in just a second, and we'll look ahead to Arsenal's trip to Atleti, which is live on TalkSPORT.
I'll bet you're delighted that I'm a Celebrity's all over. You've got to be thrilled at that.
I thought I'd gone to the wrong show. I thought it was the Jeremy Kyle show. I've never seen so much aggravation. I thought I'm in the wrong studio here. All the crowd is shouting things. Oh, it was a nightmare.
Oh, I bet it was.
I thought, don't, I'm not a celebrity. Get me out of here. That's what I was going to say. It was David was, he was in good form, David Hay. But listen, Andy, we've been brought up in dressing rooms. You've been around football, you two guys, Andy, all your life. Banter. This wasn't strong banter compared to what you've had in dressing rooms over the years. You just get on with it, didn't you?
Yeah.
It all got out of hand. People couldn't take a bit of banter and become a big issue.
Yeah, no, it's a shame because again, great personalities, great characters in there.
Yeah,
but it's been unbelievable what's been.
I was up in Scotland yesterday.
No way, where were you, mate?
I was at the Hibs Hearts game.
Oh, how did you enjoy it?
I loved it. What an atmosphere.
Aye.
The people were great. I had a great day. Malcolm McPherson, a friend of mine, was the chairman at at Hibs at one time. You know, Malky, Malky Mackay, they met me and we went for a bit of lunch. And Peter Lowell came, you know, chairman, from chief executive at Celtic.
Yeah.
He came, we had a bit of lunch, went to the game. And
They sent us a picture that made me feel so ashamed. We look like hoarders.
Chris Marshall! Yeah, I'm actually recovering from an accident right now. You've landed loose today, haven't you? Yeah, don't shake the arm, Chris, too much.
You're with Danny Boyle, who's like the maddest director ever. He's got so much energy. He's like you.
Good afternoon, it's Max Rushden and Charlie Baker with you until 4. After us, Andy Goldstein, Darren Bent have Drive, and then we are live from Madrid, from the wonderful Atleti versus Arsenal. Jim Proudfoot and Darren Bent, your commentary team for that. Adrian Durham is your host for that. So yeah, Gabriel Bronlehor's doing Drive with Goldstein today because Benty is out in Madrid. Let's talk to Perry Groves about the Arsenal game. How are you, Perry?
Hello, Perry.
Afternoon, boys. How are we doing?
Well, very good.
Yeah, not too bad. And quite a nice 1970s old Radio 2 phone line. Listen to Peter Jones doing the commentary of the game. Are you confident tonight, Perry? What do you reckon?
Well, I don't think it's going to be the cold fest of last night, boys, to be fair, because both these teams aren't going to play 2-8 formations. Do you know what I mean? So they'll probably play the normal sort of 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. But this Atletico Madrid side is a different sort of side. They played differently to the Atletico Madrid of 4 or 5 years ago. You know, they're a little bit more attacking. They like to press from the front. They go the old Mike Bassett 4-4-2. So I think it's going to be a little bit more open than what most neutrals think it's going to be.
Yeah. And do you think that it will be open from an Arsenal point of view as well, or you sense that Arsenal will be a bit Atleti-y while Atleti go for it?
Yeah, I think you got it right, Max. Obviously, Mykhailo likes to control games. You're not going to see a manager at the moment that's prepared to risk losing to go on and win it. So it will be all about standing the tie. And what you got to do, you'll make sure, especially when you're playing Atletico Madrid away from home, is you don't fall for their dark arts. They're very good. You know, when you say teams mirror managers, Atletico Madrid mirror Simeone, where they're very good at the little nifty stuff. So you've got to be very, very disciplined, and you make sure you keep.
Charlie, it's not great, is it? Perry, the line's not great. And the thing is, it's like, you know, the way you set up a show.
It's really good.
You set up a show like this, Charlie. You go from at the last section.
Easy bit.
You just want to shoe in. You pick a guest you like.
Yeah.
You know they're a good talker. You know they're friend of the show. It's easy. You think, right, we're on the down. Literally ask Perry a couple of questions with your eyes closed. You're not really focused.
And instead,
you know, your job's done.
5 minutes now, 4 or 5 minutes now, having to fill.
I say 4 minutes. Yeah.
We haven't even got Craig Johnston singing Something in the Air tonight to fill that gap. He'll be asleep.
We've already done 5 minutes on. He'll probably be asleep.
He'll be asleep, not knowing.
We've already done 5 minutes on your electric gate.
Not knowing that the biggest thing that he will ever do is waiting to happen.
Matt's been in touch to say, I've just done a Wikipedia deep dive on Craig Johnson. What a life. Footballer, inventor,
amazing
TV programme creator, photographer, lived around the world. No mention of singing, though, says Matt in Heacham.
But people are
a lovely little spot on the Norfolk coast. If you're interested. I mean, now since we've got time to let you know that's where what Heacham's like. My friend Clive's parents had a little cottage there. I stayed in the night before I got my A-level results. And then I drove to Cambridge and I got my A-level results. I don't have to talk about my A-levels.
I've got
Charlie, but
one for you,
this
Max.
is where we're here now. What have you got?
I've got a few. Horlock or Herlock, Max?
Okay, Horlock or Herlock.
See if Perry's back. See if he wants to bear a quick round
Perry.
Horlock or Herlock.
Perry Groves, can you hear us?
Top player, top bloke.
Who is the current manager of Malden and Tiptree? Horlock or Herlock?
I think that would be Horlock.
Max?
Well, can I say Horlock as well, or do I say Herlock?
You can say Horlock if you like.
I'll say Horlock.
It is Kevin Horlock, and that was Horlock or Herlock.
Okay, have we got another one?
I can do another one. We're moving on from Perry, aren't we?
Well, no, okay, come on, come on, Perry.
Okay.
Who played
13 times for Doncaster Rovers in 2006 and scored no goals?
Perry, Horlock or Herlock?
Oh, it's Horlock, isn't it? Because the timelines are out, aren't they? The timelines are out. I need to think of... Look, I've come up with the quiz, the title of it. I need to actually come up with some good questions next.
I really enjoyed it. Right, what are Arsenal happy with in this? Do you think they go for a draw? What do you think they do?
I think it'll be Max, to be fair. Looks like...
That's worse. Did you move somewhere worse, Perry? Hang on a minute, I'll just move somewhere worse.
I've actually got a lower basement. I've got a basement and a lower basement. What I'll do is I'll go to
I've got one that's lined with lead. I'll go in there now.
There's a manhole. There's a manhole here. I can get in this. If I get in the manhole, I put the manhole cover right on my head. Then maybe I'll go down this ladder. Oh,
dear.
Oh, I'm having a nice time.
Well, there we are. Well done, Perry.
I enjoyed it. Well, let's do a debrief now, right? We didn't have prep, but that was fine. The show works if we don't speak to each other before the show happens. That is a good thing to know.
Really good,
in case of emergency, because your wife was locked in your giant gates.
She didn't lock herself in. The electric went in where we live, and she was locked in with the electric gates.
Okay, it's exciting. How did you get her out?
There's an override. That involves a mechanical. There's a mechanical override.
Is there?
That involves like a spanner. So
right.
She did that. Yeah.
So she got a spanner. You didn't do it from here.
No, I couldn't do it from here. No, not like that, Max. It's not my kind
of override. You have a special override function.
I got my butler to do it. That's how I did it.
Okay, good stuff. And apart from that, the Wheel of Football is going well. That's a good feature because we weren't sure about it last week.
I like that. I'm heavily into that now.
Absolutely. So if you are just joining us, it is Andy Goldstein and Gabby Egbon with Drive. But before then, Linvoy Primus sings Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. Thank you, Charlie. I have had a lovely time.
Thank you, Max. I had a lovely time.
Thank you to the good people of Tool Station. In fact, these 4 minutes are my favourite part of the whole show. And we leave you with Linvoy Primus singing Phil Collins in the Air Tonight.
Woman for all my life, oh Lord.
Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. 03717 223344. Mohammed in Cardiff. Good morning. Where are you at with this then?
Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Simon.
Morning.
Well, congratulations for your winning your award.
Thanks, mate.
But I think this is just another retirement paycheck for both of these fighters. 5 years ago, this fight would have been amazing. Both of them were in their prime. Both of them were world champions. It probably would have been a biggest fight in British boxing history. But now, Fury, you've seen a decline in his last fight. AJ hasn't been the same for a while. And it looks like it's just another big retirement paycheck for the both of them.
Yeah, but Mohammed, you'll watch it, right? You won't miss it.
No, I don't think I watch it, if I'm honest. Like, there's a fight on Saturday, Benavides versus Ramirez. That's a fight
that's a
I'll be
proper
watching.
fight. Yeah,
you see, that's a proper fight.
That's a proper fight.
Wardley and Dubois, another fight. That's